One more game to go. The Pioneer cheerleaders are ready. Are you? Rochester and Alleman coming up next for the Class 4A title. We've had 3 games in the books, and here's the schedule as we've gone through both today and getting ready for tomorrow. And don't forget, tomorrow we got a matchup of a pair of unbeaten teams in 6A and in 7A, so you don't want to miss that. Plus the 8A title between Glenbard North and Mount Carmel. But first things first, the nightcap tonight, Rochester and Alleman. Dave and Boomer, guys.
Matt, talk about undefeated teams tomorrow. We don't have that in this ball game. Both Rochester and Rock Island Alleman, just 1 loss each. They were close ball games in each case. But here in the tournament run in the state playoffs, you have to win 5 to win it all. And for these 2 teams, this is how they got there. First of all, for Rock Island Alleman, they did this, a 49-26 win over Manteno, an impressive win over Stillman Valley. It was more of a defensive struggle against Coal City. And then the Pioneers avenged a loss last year in the second round to Evergreen Park. That's how they got here. Now what they do in terms of Rochester, this is their run. Take a look at these numbers. 42 points is the lowest score. The Charleston win was a big one against a very good team and then dominated Harrisburg in the semifinals. Just 1 week to go. Of course, Rochester looking to go back to back here tonight. Their 12-1 record, their only loss coming in the second game of the season. But for Rock Island, as we look at Derek Leonard, the head coach for Rochester, we saw just for a moment, Rock Island, they're going to have to do it, Alleman will, by a number of two-way players. First of all, number 24, Sean Weatherall.
Tremendous player for Alleman. I mean, plays safety on defense. One of the key players running the ball on offense. I mean, you see it there, 324 yards this year, 6.4 yard average. Then we got John Tracy. He plays corner for them on defense and is the quarterback, kind of the admiral of the ship, to say, on offense. We got Adam Hoogerwerf, number 25, also two-way player, starting at safety and one of their key backs in the backfield on offense.
Rochester led by player headed to University of Wisconsin. Derek Leonard loves his fullback linebacker, Garrett Dooley.
Garrett Dooley is a very special player. I mean, already committed to University of Wisconsin, a very true talent. Stands at 6'2", 6'3", 225 pounds. We got Austin Green. I mean, he is the key to help make this offense go. He's the drop back passer that's going to get the ball downfield. And we got Blake Pasley, number 2, the wide receiver. He's got 73 receptions on the season, and he's having a tremendous year.
We are moments away from kickoff. 4A championship to be decided in Champaign. We've got it coming up after this.
How come nobody told me about all the hidden costs
of cheap insurance?
How come?
How come insurance companies tell me how much I can save
Before they even know what I need?
How
come nobody asked me what my idea
of retirement is?
Country Financial does. Your country representative can help protect what you have now and prepare for the future.
Somebody who knows retirement planning
and insurance.
I like that.
At Country, we always ask, what's your idea of financial security?
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
Welcome back to your 4A state championship game. You take a look at Rochester, but let's go to the Alleman sideline and check in with Susanna Collins.
Yeah, well, we talked to Dave DeJager earlier this week, and he preached the fundamentals of the game. Nothing flashy, just making the big plays when they need them. He also stressed the importance of getting as many first downs as they can. So look for that tonight for Alleman. We're going to send it back to Rochester side.
Well, of course, when we're talking about what's going on with Rochester, Derek Leonard is concerned about the Alleman defense, especially the secondary. They look bigger, they look faster, according to Leonard, so you can expect some adjustments. As he says, he doesn't expect the Pioneers to change, but he expects to change, so you can look for some adjustments on that high-powered offense. Dave?
All right, thank you, Matt. Thank you, Susanna. These two coaches, no strangers to this title ball game. Dave DeJager, the 5th time he has been here. 98 wins, 34 losses in his 12th season. Check that as DeJager's 3rd time. It's Mike Tracy, the head coach of Alleman. Back in 1986, it was here once. Derek Leonard, his 8th season, 70 wins, 23 losses. He was also here for a 4A title game in 2008 when he was the offensive coordinator for Prairie Central. And it will be Rochester with it to begin. An opening and good field position to start it for the Rockets. On the return, it was Blake Pasley, 26 yards, and he's going to be coming right at you.
I tell you what, this is actually a great open field tackle. I mean, you see the hole there, and fortunately the Alleman guy comes in and actually gets him down. I mean, there was quite the wide gap. I thought for a second there that he was going to take that one all the way.
Get ready. Here we go. Austin Green, you see his numbers, and he will throw right out of the box. And that's a quick first down for Rochester. Buffalo Wild Wings starting offense. First of all, for the high-powered Rochester offense, we talked about Garrett Dooley, Big Pasley, C.J. Baker, Jesse Heisinger, and Gabe Ferguson. They'll also catch it as well. Here's your offensive line center, Joe Roach. And right back out of it, Austin Green to keep it. Green will get it inside the 45-yard line into Alleman territory. And you can see how quickly Rochester gets to the line. Green last year stepped in for Wes Lunt when Lunt was injured. He was a wide receiver most of the time. Quarterback this year.
Well, and that's something that you have to take notice on that last play. Austin Green is a quarterback. He's a pocket passer, but you just seen him lower the shoulder and deliver the hit on the safety for Alleman.
Buffalo Wild Wings defensive starters for Alleman. You'll see a number of these names going both ways. 9 different players going both ways for the Pioneers. Garrett Dooley on consecutive carries, and already with 1 minute and 2 seconds gone, Rochester has brought the ball to the 38-yard line of Alleman.
Rochester is going to push the pace. That is what this team does. They run the hurry up, no huddle. They communicate through hand signals type high-powered speed offense. And it's definitely to their advantage with Alleman having 8 to 9 players that actually start both ways.
Green will push forward. He will ride behind that offensive line. Should be enough for a first down. Drew Zabetos, Drake Leeper, Joe Roach, Hunter Brooks, and Audie State. You saw their names moments ago. There's Dave DeJager. 1990, 2005, 2010. In the championship ball game. In total, Alleman 4 second-place finishes in 4 appearances. Fresh set of downs here for the Rockets. Motion from Dooley. Big block on the left side. And a cut at the 5-yard line. And a touchdown for Gabe Ferguson. 34 yards. Rochester on the board. 1 minute and 21 in.
And this is what Derek Leonard does to you. I mean, he spreads the offense. He's going to give you so many different funky formations. I mean, he's very good at finding a way to getting the ball to his key players. I mean, you know, this kind of pass in a West Coast spread offense is kind of like their version of a run. You know, I mean, it's the now pass. He's the offensive lineman going out to get the block, and I mean, there's nobody else there. And he motions Dooley out the backfield, so it brings another linebacker out of the box. And we're going to see a lot of all kinds of different things from Rochester today.
Austin Green, his touchdown pass to Gabe Ferguson. 7 points, a Rochester lead, and Green is thrilled.
From the gridiron to the hardwood, on the links or on the track, on the diamond or on the ice. Go to prepfilms.com. It's easy. You can order your DVD online. At prepfilms.com, you make the memories. We'll make them last forever.
Protective Football. Watch every game at Buffalo Wild Wings and enjoy a multitude of big screen TVs and our signature wings. Go to protectivefootball.com for your nearest location in Chicagoland. Buffalo Wild Wings, proud sponsor of the IHSA. This program is brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy. Taking physical therapy to a higher level. Ask your doctor about ATI Physical Therapy. Get there. You're watching Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
7-0 lead for that sideline, the Rochester Rockets. And how did they do it? Well, Austin Green made an offense go fast. They get it to Gabe Ferguson. Ferguson uses a block. He'll take it in. 34 yards, and now it's Alleman's turn. Deep, you saw him just a moment ago, deep for Alleman. On the return, it will be Kylie Dorsey as kickoff coming up. The wind now, again, we talked about it, been with us throughout the day. Will be at Alleman's back here in the first quarter. And the Rockets are coming out hitting.
Yeah, and you can see the play call of how this wind is affecting special teams. I mean, instead of opting to try to kick the ball up in the air, they're simply going to squib kick it, try to get some bounces, and line drive it down the field.
Alleman to start from their 31-yard line. And they will go to a huddle every time they want to use the maximum amount of time they can, but they're down by 7.
And this is a lesson in old school football. I mean, very successful at the lower levels of IHSA. I mean, you force a team to be gap accountable when you run this double wing T, triple option type offense. They have to be responsible and be in the proper gap and have the correct fit. Otherwise, they will break it for a big play.
Penalty flag on the first snap. It will go against Rochester. Some encroachment. There is your call. And a first down and 5 here for Alleman. We saw the early pitch there to Adam Hugerwerf. And there is your double wing formation. Tracy on the keeper. Looks to get to the sticks, and he may have his first down. Here's your Buffalo Wild Wings starting offensive unit for Alleman. We talked about John Tracy at quarterback. Weatherall, Hugerwerf, Connor Wan can also do some damage with his split end position. Those are your skill position players. And up front, Nate Herron, Ben West, Scott Schill, Nate Gilbreth, and Aaron Murray. And they are in charge of opening the holes here tonight for the Pioneers from Alleman. As we said, they come in 12-1 in the season. Their only loss came in the 8th week of the year, a 10-7 loss to crosstown rival Rock Island. First down, Alleman. To the near side. Short pickup on the play, and the Buffalo Wild Wings defense for Rochester. This is a defensive unit that has really come on this year. Matt Swain, Drake Leeper, Audie Staten, Evan McMinn. They get it done up front, and they open it up for the linebackers. A real good bunch led by Garrett Dooley in the middle, Reed Watson and C.J. Baker. The secondary has speed, and Blake Pansley. He's joined by Jeremy Bivens, Tyler Mazzini, and Gabe Ferguson, who just caught that touchdown pass moments ago. After a gain of 3. The pitch to Weatherall. And he is met by, count 'em, 6 different Rockets.
And this is Garrett Dooley doing what he does best, coming downhill in the open field, making point of contact and giving him down. If you notice, the defense had kind of shifted. Rochester is mainly a 4-2 type defense. In that particular call, they went to a 3-3 front. I spoke with defensive coordinator Buicker earlier this week, and he had said that Rock Island was the most successful team defending Rock Island Alleman, and they had a 3-3 stack look, and therefore he can put Grant Dooley in the center of the field, and you cannot run away from him.
Tracy on the run. Big throw, big catch, big hit. The completion goes to Adam Hugerwerf. Tracy's only thrown the ball now 73 times this season, but he finds Hugerwerf.
Impressive pass completion this early in the game. I mean, he sprints out. He's got Hugerwerf open, gets him the ball, and he actually takes a big hit right there in the end of the play, but manages to hold on to the ball. I mean, Rock Island Alleman has been 83% run this season. 83%. I mean, passing is not what they do. They're very good at the fundamentals and the ground and pound, double wing T, patient, inch away at it offense.
Only 738 yards total offensively in the air, over 3,500 on the ground, and here's a big one. Weatherall at the 10-5, He's in. 48-yard run. Sean Weatherall. And Alleman answers.
Example of an all-stater showing why he is an all-state selection.
That took less than 2 minutes for the Pioneers to get on the scoreboard. Weatherall's 7th touchdown of the season on the ground.
It's kind of simply a counter. I mean, the wing motions back across. The flow of the play is going to the right. There's nobody there. He finds the opening, turns on the burners, and takes it all the way to the end zone.
Here's Tracy. And Rochester denies Alleman a chance to tie. 7-6. John Tracy a little slow getting up. So we've seen the explosiveness of Rochester, and we see the explosiveness on the ground by Alleman. Tracy just picks this one up, looking for 2.
It's aggressive play call right here in the first quarter, actually going for the fake. But Rochester just has so much speed, but you could see lost a little of a handle on the ball, so he wasn't really comfortable with what he was doing and just decided to turn it into a boot run.
Well, a heady play by Tracy. He probably wishes he had that one back as Connor Wan was ready to attempt the extra point. So Alleman on the season, they come in averaging 34 points per game. The other side, Rochester, 45. We've not talked about the Alleman defense. This is a defensive club that has only given up through 13 games this year an average of 8.9 points per ball game. So this is a defense for the green and white right there that will look to get things going, but their offense covers 69 yards in 5 plays, so pull tight.
My apologies, that by no means was a fake play call. I looked away for a second. That was actually Tracy doing like what you're saying, is making a heady play and trying to turn something that was very poorly into 2 points.
2 scores here in the first 3 minutes of this game. Wan hits this one low to the ground. Tell you what, Boomer, there's some hitting going on here in this 4A championship game early.
So far this game, I mean, we've heard 3 or 4 already, from even coming up from the secondary and the kickoff there. I mean, we're 6 stories up, and you can hear the pads impact.
There's Sean Weatherall, the touchdown run just moments ago. His brother Kevin was a starter on the 2010 second place team that lost to Rochester. Now the Rockets to start it from their own 27. And across the 30-yard line.
I mean, Dave, you said it a second ago. I mean, we spoke pregame about how both of these offenses have been so successful, but Alleman's trademark this whole season has been the defense, as you said. I mean, holding their opponents to less than 9 points per game. I mean, an amazing feat done by the defense.
Look at the spread here offensively for Rochester. Nearly sideline to sideline. And now they'll come in tight. Dooley, hard running. Garrett Dooley averages about 7.5 yards per carry. He has rushed for almost 1,400 yards. His long run this season, a 98-yarder. He's also caught 31 passes for over 400 yards.
You see, this is Derek Leonard, doing what he does. I mean, spreading it out in the most crazy of formations in order to just shift and bring it back in.
Close to midfield is Austin Green. Green has rushed this season for almost 800 yards.
You see guard tackle pull, he fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, and I mean, this kid can really run. I mean, you see him cut, you see him make the move, and he knows how to read.
There's Derek Leonard, 70 wins and 23 losses, 2 state championships. Screen back this way. Dooley. Garrett Dooley to the 30-yard line. Slick little move. It goes for 24 yards. Rochester fans warm yet happy. They lead by a point. Dave DeJager, he's the architect of this defense, and it is tested here tonight. Green quickly. And room at the 15, at the 10, inside the 5-yard line. Blake Pasley, the receptionist, first and goal.
I mean, this team has to be so hard to prepare for in order to play against. I mean, all the different formations, all the different possibilities, the way they run the ball to the way they throw it. I mean, that was simply the jailbreak screen where, you know, everyone kind of heads out the block and the outside receiver steps back, catches the pass, and kind of goes against the tide.
There's a flag on that play right at the end at the 3-yard line where Pasley went down. Personal foul will be half the distance to the goal line. They have already moved it. Rochester to have it just outside the 1. In tight. Dooley not there yet.
It was a slight attempt of the leap. I mean, one of my favorite things to watch running backs do, and I was fortunate and had a couple guys like Priest Holmes and Larry Johnson that would do it, is I would usually come screaming in and hit the biggest guy I could have in front of me, or he would hit me, but it really didn't make a concern because they would just jump over me into the end zone.
Well, that time Dooley just puts his head right down. He pushes through, and Rochester on their second possession scores their second touchdown in a 13-6 lead.
I don't doubt Dooley's athleticism at all. Clearly, he's committed to the University of Wisconsin, but with the size and frame that he has, he's entirely probably better off just keeping the body on the ground, lowering the shoulders, using that strength that he has to plow through the end zone.
Grant Fitzsimmons looking to stick another one on the board. And that will push it to 14-6 advantage. It happens in a hurry. 3 possessions, 3 scores. Rochester on top by 8.
From the gridiron to the hardwood, on the links or on the track, on the diamond or on the ice. Go to prepfilms.com. It's easy. You can order your DVD online. At prepfilms.com, you make the memories. We'll make them last forever.
Steakhouses do big, but not double XL big. Only Taco Bell's got triple the premium juicy steak and tons of toppings on a giant plate of crunchy tortilla chips. The new double XL steak nachos from Taco Bell. Yeah, we do big.
All through the playoffs, get the best highlights and stories behind the game from High School Lights on Comcast Sportsnet. See the action all across Chicagoland as teams vie for the championship every Saturday night at 10:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
The IHSA State Football Finals are proudly presented by Country Financial.
Hang on, this is what this night is going to be like. Back and forth we go. Susanna Collins, Matt Rodewald on the field. I'm Dave Bernhardt, joined in booth by Boomer Grigsby, the Canton High School product, 3-year All-American at Illinois State University and 5-year NFL pro. And Boomer, I imagine at some point along the way you face an offense like Allen's. I'm not so sure that you saw anything from your linebacking days as to how quickly that Rochester does things.
No, I mean, especially at the high school level. I mean, I did face offenses like Alleman and Metamora, you know, a perennial powerhouse down in Central Illinois in our division. But never throughout high school did I face an offense that had the ability to hurry up and go no huddle.
Short little punch kick, and a fair catch was called by Hoogerwerf. And Rock Island looking up at an 8-point deficit. We've not yet reached the midway point of the first quarter.
I mean, Rochester runs more of a collegiate or professional style offense, and it's really a testament to them and you know the great talent they've had at quarterback. I mean, Derek Leonard said they've been fortunate to have their last 4 quarterbacks, including Austin, now committed to Eastern Illinois, to have Division I athletes at quarterback position. Has really kind of gave him that ability to do things that you normally can't do at a smaller school level.
Dive play to the fullback, Connor Doak. It has been a brisk day here today in Champaign, and that temperature dropping. Wind chill of 17 degrees. The wind's as much of a factor in terms of affecting play in the field as much as it is just being flat out colder. And it will be chilly again here tomorrow, and the folks that came here tonight bundled up in whatever they had in their closets. Imagine their trunks were filled with all the different options they had here tonight. Short gain on first down from Connor Doak. Another 3 yards from Sean Weatherall. Weatherall called the blue-collar tough guy of this team by his head coach, Dave DeJager. He's just a flat-out tough guy.
Well, and you see it right there. I mean, this is a very tough running Alleman football team. I mean, in that play right there, he hit head on, Garrett Dooley and kind of went for another yard. I mean, Dooley is no small linebacker. I mean, 4A school out of Rochester, committed to the University of Wisconsin. I mean, this is a 6'3", 225-pound man.
Tracy on the rollout on third down. And let's see where they spotted it. Will be close to the first down. He had to get across the 48-yard line. They'll put him at the 49, and that will be a first down for the Pioneers.
And you have to appreciate this in your quarterback. They're booting out. Rochester reads it, but he's not scared to lower the shoulder and go for the extra yard.
John Tracy, we should say, on the way to the quarterfinal trip to Coal City, they watched a movie on the team bus. Well, they watched Remember the Titans. Now, Tracy watched that closely. He watched the quarterback in that movie fully extend the arm, then pull it back, making the pitch. He used it against Coal City 4 times with success. So, where some people get their motivation from films, he gets it and puts it on the field. Let's check in with Susanna Collins.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, well, we talked about how Dave DeJager stresses fundamentals. Well, he also stresses the importance of academics. He has got 6 players on this team who are academic all-stars, including Sean Weatherall, who scored that touchdown. So he's getting it done in the classroom and on the field, guys.
Thanks, Susanna, and you're right. He is very, very proud of that number as much as he is any of the other numbers that are taking place on the field. Big hit in the backfield. Weatherall gets smacked that time by number 62, Audie State, 6'2", 250-pound junior. His dad was a tight end back at Illinois Wesleyan.
And like we said even last game, I mean, the key to shutting down the momentum of these ground and pound offenses that are so patient, so happy to just get 2-3 yard gains because they know that eventually they're going to break one, is having your defensive front get penetration through into the backfield. And it causes such a disturbance and kind of just causes chaos within the play.
Doak, the only man in the backfield behind Tracy. John Tracy uses the block. He'll be just short of the first down. Well, you have to like the foot speed of Tracy in the field awareness. Ferguson runs him out of bounds.
He's a very heady quarterback. He sees the green, he takes it. My favorite part about him is how he's not afraid to lower his shoulders. I mean, this is a pass. Instead of getting flustered and trying to do something that he shouldn't with the ball, he takes it for the run. And if you notice, the receiver actually coming back in and trying to lay a layout block. He almost caught him on the crackback.
Oh, it was Adam Hoogerwerf that came on back. He enables Tracy to pull within a yard of a first down. 4th down and a yard from the 42 of Rochester. Alleman trailing 14-6. There's the yard and more. This is Hoogerwerf. How about that? 4th and 1 goes for 6. 41 yards. Alleman hits the board. And Hoogerwerf was never touched.
I mean, he's coming straight downhill. I mean, they clearly won that battle at the line. I mean, there is nobody there. They get up next level onto the linebackers and safety. Wide open hole. He takes it all the way to the end zone.
Now down by 2 after having the first snap bobbled on an extra point attempt by way of kick. The Pioneers to go for 2. This for the tie. Tracy up for grabs. Denied. We saw in the first game this evening, the 3A championship ball game, missed extra points prove, at least at the time, costly to Unity when they trailed 14-12, and that's where we're at right now with Alleman.
Well, special teams, it so changes the dynamic of the game. I mean, now you're down by a score when the game should have been tied. But you're forced to go for it on 2 after having the mishandled snap early on the first score. And what's interesting is the last game was 14-12 at 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We're still at 3:50 left in the first quarter, and the score is 14-12.
And 264 yards of offense. Big numbers here in your 4A championship ball game, and both coaches would tell you. Derek Leonard would say, well, we can't let them sustain drives. We have to make them throw. On the other side, Dave Jager said we have to take away the big play. Neither of that has happened here yet tonight.
Well, both teams still trying to figure each other out. I mean, I've spoke about over and over again about how these double wing tees and their patience and their ability to just chip away. Now, with that in mind, I had no expectation that they would find gaps and call plays that would equal those kind of really big plays, the very long runs. I thought it would be a little bit slower than that.
3:51 to play here in the first quarter, and Alleman will kick it off once again. And we've seen with the wind tonight, in fact, all day here, teams have changed up how they elect to kick off. Do they hit it short? Do they pop it up? They try to pound it deep, but at the very least, we will have to hold the ball on the tee.
Well, I mean, Alleman has the wind right now. I would try to kick the ball as deep as you could, but we've seen Aurora Christian in the last game try to actually loft it up a little bit and then we try to get it to the second level guys.
This will be from about the 12. And that draws a roar from the Alleman fans on the hit. And this is what is coming up tomorrow. You see our champions, Maroa Forsyth, Mercer County, and Aurora Christian tomorrow. Montini and Morris, the Broncos from Montini, looking for their 4th straight. Undefeated teams playing in 6A and 7A, and we wrap it up. Glenbard North and Mount Carmel, full day of football here for you tomorrow from Memorial Stadium. Rochester back to work. Green only a couple of yards. The Alleman fans on the far side wearing their green pom-poms. Let's go downstairs to Matt Rodewald.
You know, maybe you'd think after giving up 2 big runs there'd be some fire and brimstone on the sideline, but not really for Rochester. Pretty cool-headed over here, as a couple of guys were just chatting to see what their assignments are. Matt Swain and Jeremy Bivens talking real quick about where they are on the edge, but so far it's pretty quiet after those 2 big plays.
It's very interesting, man. You know, it's a state championship ball game. You'd figure, okay, we're all jacked up making the adjustments, but that sounds like a confident team, one that's won 2 state titles.
Well, both of these teams are so well coached. You know, I mean, both have had tremendous amounts of success. They run great programs. You know, both of them know it's very early in the game to get flustered. Your coaches are going to make adjustments. You'll start to get the feel of each other and go on and play ball.
6 people split out wide and an incomplete pass. When you look at the different formations that Derek Leonard will throw out there, he's one of those tinkerers. You know, he's the guy that in a restaurant grab a napkin and design a play, design a formation. He was a quarterback, 3-year star at Illinois College, and as he said, getting to call plays now kind of lets him relive those quarterback moments. Pioneers stay home, and Leonard will go into the playbook again. Austin Green had that carry.
And the Jagers said it on the conference call earlier in the week. I mean, this defense doesn't necessarily have one standout player, but they play so well as a unit, and they're so confident in each other, and they've really preached the fundamentals of the game that they're just very good at doing their job and doing their responsibility.
On a 3rd down and 8. Green to the air. Deep, deep drop. Dooley is able to stay in bounds. And he has a 1st down. Garrett Dooley is expecting to get hammered, and he was never touched.
Well, I tell you what, Dave, he didn't intentionally mean to drop this far back. I mean, this is a called screen. But they covered up Dooley for a while, and then they let him go. And once he got out there, Green got him the ball, and they took off down the sideline.
Sean Witherall whiffed on the tackle attempt of Dooley. It goes for 25 yards, a 1st down. That will be a short gain for Garrett Dooley. Very active here in the early going, both by way of rushing the ball And by way of catching a pass, that is Dooley's 7th carry of the night. He just caught his 2nd pass moments ago. Dooley already with 80 yards of total offense. First downs adding up. Nothing up the middle. And you again hear those pads popping as Austin Green takes a hit from Weatherall.
Hostile environment. I mean, these guys are coming out and they're trying to absolutely throttle each other. I mean, this is just a design power. Quarterback coming down, following Reed Watson. You know, the fullback into the formation, and I tell you what, they are not afraid to be smacking each other around right now.
Up the right side. 2 yards short of a first down. Dooley again. Garrett Dooley along with Austin Green. There's Green, number 14. They were part of this championship team 2 years ago. Dooley was a starter, the defensive side. Green got into a little bit of action, and now they are the 2 leaders of this club here in 2012. And it's a 4th down and long 1 yard to go for a first down. And Rochester wants to get this right. They'll take the timeout here with 1:43 to play in the first quarter.
Leonard didn't like something that he's seen there. I mean, you could see the quarterback looking at him on the sideline, and he didn't like the formation that he had out there on the field, and so they decided to call the timeout.
Upstairs, where it's a little bit warmer than that 17-degree wind chill, Dave Earnhardt along with Boomer Grigsby. And, you know, we were joking during one of our breaks that we didn't think we had settled into any kind of a rhythm yet, and I don't know that this game has felt that way.
No, not at all. I mean, both teams are explosive offensively, but we didn't think that either one would come out quite this successful. I mean, there's been so many. I mean, the first 3 drives of the game all equaled points.
You know, it is film study. Of course, we talked 2 years ago. The teams knew each other from there, but the film study throughout the week. Are you surprised that we've had this much offense here in the first quarter for both sides?
I am. You know, and it's not that I had any lack of faith in either team, their ability to score, but I didn't realize that both teams would score so quickly. You know, especially Alleman. I mean, this is a ground and pound team, but they've had their opportunities, they've seized them, and they've had great runs.
Okay, so for Rochester, they will look to work on a 4th down as situation, 4th and a long 1 yard to go. Green 5 yards deep. He'll dive for that first down. He went right up the middle. He went right behind his center, Joe Roach. And here he comes. First down, Rockets.
You see Leonard spread it out there a little bit, so there wasn't as many backers in the box. You know, they lead up with the fullback Reed Watson, and the line does very well at the line of scrimmage, and Austin finds a way to just jump through for the first down.
Short side of the field. Dooley never goes down. It's a short gain of a 2. Garrett Dooley, 6'3", 225-pound senior. The heart of the team, according to his coach, Derek Leonard, especially defensively, has really come into his own. He didn't start playing offense until his freshman year. He began as a wide receiver, grew up in El Paso, Texas. Born in El Paso, Texas, grew up in Pontiac, not too far here from Champaign, and he moved to Rochester 4 years ago. Garrett Dooley with 3 touchdowns against Charleston in the 2nd round. Last week against Harrisburg in the semifinals, he scored 4 times. We're under a minute to play in the first quarter.
The way that Rochester played in the semifinals against Harrisburg is unbelievable. I mean, it was 49-0 at halftime, and Harrisburg only had 48 yards rushing. They'd actually outscored 48 yards total. They'd actually outscored the yardage for the opposing team.
Green squirts through for the score. Austin Green slides for a 17-yard touchdown run. And with 37 seconds left in the first quarter, Rochester has 20 points on the board.
This quarterback keeper is kind of a counter powerish route. I mean, the guard and tackle pull, but Austin Green does a great job of taking the gap, coming straight downhill, not trying to widen it out and make something out of nothing. He sees the green and goes right for the end zone.
Fitzsimmons nudges it through. A 21-12 lead. Derek Leonard looks. Austin Green, how about those numbers already? In the air. 121 yards on the ground, 17 here for the score.
It's actually what they call a guard tackle counter. You know, they fake it to Dooley. The guard and tackle pull from the other side and lead Austin Green around, but he does a great job of keeping the ball tight. I mean, it is designed to run downhill, take it right through the A gap, and it's exactly what he did.
We've had 5 possessions in this ball game combined. We've had 5 touchdowns. That a 74-yard drive, 12 plays. It only takes 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Now, most teams, when they go 74 yards and 12 plays, that would be a 5-6 minute drive, and it goes quickly. John Tracy will get those hands warmed up and look to answer when he gets back on the field.
It's so hard to defend a quarterback like Austin Green. I mean, typically when you have a quarterback at the high school level who's successful on the ground, it is because he is running an Alleman type offense. You know, when you have a guy who has the ability to drop back and throw the ball downfield, but then at the same time, you know, you can design entire plays for him to keep the ball. You know, it makes him a super dual threat as a quarterback.
The Heaters, a very popular place to hang out tonight on the sidelines. Wind chill of 17 degrees. Rochester will make the Alleman offense earn it. Fair catch called by Weatherall. Weatherall with a 48-yard touchdown run that got Alleman on the board. Their first score. We've already had a touchdown pass of 34 yards from Green to Ferguson. Weatherall's 48-yard run. Dooley answers with a 1-yarder of his own. Hoogerwerf 42 yards for a score. And then Green's 17-yard run. And that's right, we are still in the first quarter. 33 points. Tracy to keep and shove backwards. Reed Watson along with help. You see Watson, number 44, kind of got caught up in there. And that is Drake Leeper. He's the one that pushes Tracy back. 83 points scored, the 33 points scored rather. Here in the first quarter, clock winding down. Alleman will look to turn this field around and look to turn that score around. Big first quarter here in your 4A championship ball game. Alleman has scored on 2 touchdown runs. On the other side, Rochester, 3 scores. Everybody scored every time they touched the ball. This was the last one from Austin Green.
Why do I use FS? Service and dependability. That's my son Corey, he runs a trucking business. And that's my son Ty, he runs a farming business. We've been working with FS probably for around 40 years. We deliver just-in-time freight. In other words, we have to be able to depend on our suppliers.
With FS, I can always count them, the barrel's always full.
I think the service and the dependability is why we're still with FS.
FS, the local answer to your world of needs.
This does not look safe at all.
This was such a better idea on paper.
This is Travis Pastrana and the Nitro Circus.
1, 2, 3, Nitro! I love you!
I just got a calf cramp. Give me a second.
Buckle up for the one film that will absolutely leave a mark. Nitro Circus.
Now available on Dish Cinema. Dutch Farms presents Speaking Dutch, lesson number 5, shredded cheese. Versnipperkaas.
Versnipperkaas. Versnipperkaas?
The Dutch have always been known for their dairy products. And at Dutch Farms, we continue this tradition by making natural, wholesome cheese from farm fresh milk. Try Dutch Farms cheese, butter, and eggs, and soon you'll be saying,
I want Dutch Farms.
Dutch Farms. We speak quality.
Appreciating the efforts of their teams. They trail at 21-12. Alan Smigel, our umpire, Bill Orris, the line judge, and Lawrence Campanigri as we start the second quarter. And who is that number 34 wearing a white jersey with orange numerals? That's Garrett Dooley. Glad to have you with us for your 4A state championship ball game. This is a rematch of the 2010 game. It's a ball game won by Rochester.
Every coach on Rochester's coaching staff speaks so highly of Garrett Dooley as a player and as a person, and ultimately all of them agree that he's a terrific running back. But even more so, they all are in consensus agreement that he is a great linebacker. He has amazing instincts. He reads very, very well. I mean, they read guard through to the running backs, but he just has such natural instincts for a high school middle linebacker, and let alone him have the instincts and the ability to come downhill and make tackles like that.
Well, that's one of the reasons why this high school linebacker here this November will be a college linebacker at Wisconsin next November. It's a penalty against Alleman. That game 2 years ago was a 24-7 win for Rochester, and already Alleman has scored more points in this ball game. They were not happy with their offensive performance, obviously 2 years ago, scoring just 1 touchdown. They thought they would have a little bit better showing here tonight. Rochester, as we said already, 21 points through 1 quarter of play. Tracy, he's in a tough spot here. That's a good job by John Tracy to avoid the big loss. And he was being chased all the way across the field by number 57, Drake Leeper.
This is a great job by Tracy. I mean, eluding the sack, getting out there, seeing someone downfield attempting to get it, but mainly just getting rid of the ball, not taking the sack.
And we will have our first punt of the night. In fact, we'll have our first possession that will not end in a touchdown. There's Blake Pasley, he's deep. Connor Wan will do the punting.
You see the penalty that they received for the delay of game. I mean, we spoke about this early on how, these double wing T, these ground and pound offenses, they are not designed in order to be, third down and long. And so, they're accustomed to moving the sticks a little bit on first down, even on a bad play of going 2 to 3 yards. So when you put them in a position and now they're back 5, it changes the whole dynamics of their scheme.
Matt Rodewald's on the sidelines of Memorial Stadium.
Guys, it's been interesting watching Austin Green, the quarterback for Rochester, on the sidelines during that possession, trying to stay loose. He puts the jacket on, takes the jacket off, warms his hands up, and then he throws the ball a little bit. And I actually yelled out, how's the grip on the football? Because for a high-powered offense, the quarterback has to have grip. And you can see right there, it's pretty good.
Yeah, he laid that one out there at about the 10-yard line. Pretty good toss from Green, the 6'2", 195-pound senior. Well, you talk about the delay of game penalty, backs it up 5. Then you kick into the wind, only a 16-yard punt. We've seen 3 punts here this evening, Boomer, in our 3A and 4A games into the wind, going to the left, that have gone for 13 yards, 12 yards, and 16 yards. It is vicious out there. 2nd and 10. Green plants, looking for Pasley. Nearly came away with it. What a grab that would have been in traffic. Blake Pasley, last year he was the number 5 receiver. This year, 72 receptions for almost 1,100 yards.
Well, I tell you what, he had a step for a second, but it's a dangerous throw, because if you look at both of those safeties that are back there, those are both Hoogerwerf and
Weatherall was also active.
And having both of your 2 key players that are very familiar with holding the ball on offense are also going up. The moment that ball hits the air, it's up for grabs. It's anybody that wants to take it.
Right, you're right. Hoogerwerf and Weatherall, the 2 All-Staters on the Alleman club.
So you're throwing the ball in a very dangerous place there, especially when you have both of them there.
It's 3rd and 10. That time, Green misses on Dooley. He may not have gone very far anyway. And what will Rochester do here? They don't show punt. Now, Austin Green is the punter. They have 4th and 10 from the 45.
People don't like punting anymore.
No. we had a stretch. When we have a stretch in our last game, 4 straight possessions, no punts right here at almost this identical spot of the field. Well, Green will get a little punch kick there, and it will go in the end zone.
I guess that would be the benefit of having a quarterback and a punter.
45-yard kick for Austin Green. Alleman to start from the 20 when we come back.
2, 3, 6.
This isn't Madison Square Garden. These drills probably won't make anyone a #1 draft pick. But these players are practicing for something important. While they work on their jump shots, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, how to deal with wins and losses. Skills that will make them winners long after they leave the court. Support high school activities in your community, because when kids take part, they get set for life.
What is your business waiting for? Data demands are exploding. Bandwidth is struggling to keep up. IT costs, they're out of control. Now's the time to meet with Comcast Business Class about Metro Ethernet. Comcast Ethernet scales from 10 megabits to 10 gigabits per second to meet every data demand. And you'll save 30% over old technology from the phone company. Don't wait. Start saving. Call 866-429-3047 and talk to a Comcast Ethernet expert today.
Big story here in the second quarter through 90 seconds. We've not had anybody get a first down. 2 punts, 21-12, Alleman in the lead. We talked about the officials a little while ago. There they are, a very proud bunch led by referee Tony Gerdak. Proud because you earn your way down here. This is not something that it's a random draw. You are rated, you build up points, and you get to officiate the state championship ball game. Congratulations to those gentlemen right there.
It's an honor for them the same way that it is the players. I mean, when you earn your right to come and to participate in it, I mean, it's obviously the greatest testament of showing that you did a great job during the season.
Short gain for Tracy, just gets it across that 20-yard line. And it is cold for those men out there as well. All those short sleeves they had out in August, replaced by the ear coverings. Oh, they're all two-way players, right? All the officials are two-way players. They never come off. They don't feel it. Oh, that ball is dropped. A little problem on the exchange. A break for Alleman. Falling on top of it's Nate Herron, one of the offensive linemen for the Pioneers.
See, Rochester's doing this. The linebackers are actually walking up to the line, and they're kind of just blitzing. They're taking out the linemen before they can even move and trying to create some penetration. I think that kind of it throws off the play, and it makes the ball a little bit different to their typical handoff that they're normally used to. It just causes a little disturbance.
And that creates a 3rd down and 12. The big gain that the Pioneers were hoping for did not materialize. The fullback Connor Doak with that last carry. The 196-pound junior will watch his team punt this one away. The last time it was just a 16-yard kick into this wind.
And they ran the same play defensively. I mean, once again, both outside linebackers walked up. And believe what they're also trying to do with that is eliminate the fullback, the dive from an equation, and they're kind of putting a lot of faith in Dooley, who they should put a lot of faith in order to track down and pursue anything outside, inside out.
Wine hits it low, and you still see the wind knock it down. Another short punt to the 40-yard line is all. That one goes for 19 yards. Rochester's offense will come on the field, and they struck for 3 scores in the first period. They got it going quickly. Austin Green, the senior quarterback. Gabe Ferguson, here's a block, bang. Ferguson will do the rest. And then Dooley, the short touchdown run. Finally, Green himself, 17 yards. That's the 21 points. The Rockets stuck quick in the first quarter. And now Dooley here in the second quarter runs over a man, 15 yards to the 25-yard line. For Rochester, they started their touchdown drives 33, 27, and 26 yards. And those are their touchdown drives for scores, and followed that up with a 3-and-out for a punt. And they will look to take advantage of good field position here. With about 8 minutes to play in the first half, a 9-point lead. They already have this ball at the 22-yard line of Rock Island Alleman. Green still on his feet. Green the cut. Austin Gray, touchdown. 22 yards, his second of the night. It's a 27-12 Rochester lead. Austin Green so quick with his feet.
I mean, fake the handoff to Dooley. Even if a linebacker hesitates just for a second, the guard and tackle will lead around. But Austin Green does such a good job of coming downhill, allowing that play to develop. Then he finds his crease, and breaks it back out to the left all the way to the end zone.
Short touchdown drive set up by a punt into the wind. Fitzsimmons. They ain't pretty, folks. It's going through. Austin Green will put that jacket on, as Matt Rodewald told us. He'll take it off. He'll move around, but what he has is he have given himself and his team a 28-12 lead. Dave Earnhardt and Boomer Grigsby, and Austin Green is showing every part of his arsenal here tonight. We've only played about 16 minutes.
Well, I mean, like we said, he's such a dual threat, and then, you know, they have to honor Garrett Dooley. I mean, whenever they're going to hand the ball, I mean, simply if a linebacker takes one step the wrong way and they're running that counter play back, leading with the guard and tackle, and Austin Green does such a good job of kind of coming directly downhill, knowing exactly where to fit, and then the hole's there, and then he just made some of that playmaking stuff happen by breaking it back all the way out to the left.
You talked about the great quarterbacks in Rochester history and recent history. 4 going to Division I schools. Austin Green head to Eastern Illinois University. Now last year he took over for Wes Lunt when Wes Lunt was injured, and Derek Leonard said that was a good thing for this season because he took care of all his maturity. He kind of got all the jitters out of the way in the stretch when he took over for Lunt. So Austin Green, number 14, coming right at you. He comes into this season a poised young man and now playing in his 14th game of the year.
Well, because even only starting 4 games last year, I mean, it's exactly like you said. I mean, really got the jitters out, or the sea legs for sure, or just having an understanding of the offense. And then so you come into this season, and because you played 4 games last year as a quarterback, you're almost coming in with a veteran type mentality.
How about those numbers here with 7:45 to play, almost 200 yards of total offense, responsible for 3 of the 4 touchdowns here in this ball game for Rochester, looking to three-peat in Class 4A. I'll tell you what, he's taking advantage of that heater. He comes out there loose. And a little bit of assistance here on the kickoff for Grant Fitzsimmons. Fitzsimmons perfect on the night, his 4 extra point attempts. Alleman has just had to cover up every single kickoff here this evening. We are wrapping up here your first day of your Illinois High School Football State Championships. They're your state champions. And coming up tomorrow, Montini Morris. So the Broncos go for the 4-peat. Cary Grove and Crete-Monee, they're both 13-0. The number 1 team versus the number 1 team. That's right, they tied atop the 7A poll. Glenbard West and Lincoln Way East. And we wrap it up tomorrow night, the 8A matchup. Mount Carmel looking for their 11th state championship in football. They'll take on Glenbard North. And Alleman will stay on the ground. And the folks that may not be that familiar with Alleman football, they might say, well, you know, here's a team already down 28-12. They've got to start throwing the ball. But there's so much time left, and they are who they are.
Well, I mean, we keep saying it, but that is exactly who they are. I mean, their coaches preached it. I mean, they're a very fundamentally sound team. I would say that they're not explosive with that high-power offense the way that Aurora Christian is in Rochester for the deep threat, but then yet we've seen them make 2 very explosive big-time plays just simply utilizing their run game. And here's an opportunity where if he would have had his feet, there wasn't anyone there to stop him.
Weatherall, who has a touchdown run tonight of 48 yards to get Alleman on the board, nearly squirted through. He does get that first down.
I mean, they need to score on this drive. You cannot let this game get too out of hand, because you cannot be in a position where you have to go away from your bread and butter of an offense when you're trying to score quickly. But with that in mind, they run their scheme so well, and they've already proved in this game twice how they're capable of the big play, that, you know, they might need to just stick with it. I mean, they've already changed a little bit, and we were seeing a wishbone backfield now instead of the double wing T.
Hugerwerf goes nowhere as he angles across to the right side. Both these teams play in great conferences. For Rochester, Central State 8 Conference, and on the other side for Alleman, the Western Big 6. And what's significant about that is each of those schools are some of the smallest schools in their respective conferences, so they're always playing against the big boys week in and week out, and that's what toughens them up and gets them here to the 4A title game. Option from Tracy. Hugerwerf. Knocked out of bounds, short of the first down. Susanna Collins is standing down on the field.
Hi, Dave. Yeah, well, we talked before the game about Dave DeJager preaching the importance of fundamentals, and it is going to take exactly that for this team to get back in this game. Just doing the little things, making the big plays when they need to happen, Dave.
Right, Susanna and Boomer, that is a testament to the program. It's not just a team, it's a program philosophy, the confidence your players have to have that the fundamentals will benefit them here in situations like this.
Well, DeJager's done a tremendous job building this program, and I mean they've earned the respect of everyone around and everyone within their conference, and that's what they're known for. I mean, Coach Derek Leonard said on his side of the conference call that, you know, they're a great fundamental football team. They do things very well. And his exact words were, they won't beat themselves.
The defense for Rochester rises up and forces a 4th down and 2. 45-yard line. You see the clock running with about 5:40 to play here in the first half. Boomer Grigsby, 5-year NFL veteran, says this is a must score. Dave DeJager agrees. He's got to go for it right here.
It's a good call. I mean, it's 28-12. You know, like we just said, you can't let this one slip a little bit. You know how effective Rochester is at scoring.
And that will be a hard-earned first down for Alleman. Sean Weatherall got it on 2nd and 3rd effort.
And that is why he goes for it on 4th and 2. He has faith in the heart of his players. I mean, a strict downhill play. I mean, you got 2 lead blockers, but this is all Sean Weatherall. I mean, he was met at the line or behind the line of scrimmage, but his yards after contact, he kept his legs driving, put the shoulders down, and got the first down.
This is a battle-tested Alleman team in state championships. 6 players on this team were on last year's second-place Class 2A baseball team. They lost a thriller in the championship game to Normal U-High. And another first down carry. We're not done yet. That whistle's still not blowing. And the Alleman fans go crazy. 24-yard run.
And you could hear the reaction of their crowd. I mean, if you notice the heart and soul of these players, I mean, once again, coming the ball right downhill, Weatherall lowers the shoulder, lowers his pads, keeps his legs moving, but look at all of his teammates coming here to push the pile. All the big guys on the offensive line. I mean, Weatherall does a great job of keeping his momentum forward and driving the legs, but look at all the big guys coming in, pushing the pile. I mean, that is legitimately a sled drill that they practice in practice every day, only now you're doing it in real life.
The rugby scrum breaks out in the Class 4A state championship game. Hugerwerf to the corner. He's got speed. And the Pioneers back to the 11-yard line. 15-yard run for Hugerwerf. He, along with Weatherall, Connor Wan, John Tracy, members of that second-place baseball team, and the All-Stater coming right at you.
Hugerwerf just got the edge. That was just flat-out speed.
Trailing 28-12. From the 11. Not much. Down at the bottom of the pile, number 95, Evan McMinn. That's a familiar name to folks around Illinois. He's a brother of Riley McMinn. Riley went to Iowa, member of the 2010 state championship team. Evan, a little bit smaller version of Riley. Evan at 6'1", 180 pounds. He gets a stick in there. 2nd down. Hugerwerf. He was able to get about 4 yards there just by keeping his balance.
Just a toss sweep. I mean, Hugerwerf gets out there, breaks a tackle, and if you're going to fall forward. Gets to 3 or 4 yards.
Ball at the 6-yard line, underneath 3 minutes to play in the first half. 3rd and 5. Alleman can get a first down here. With both sets of fans making a lot of noise. Dave Jager wants a timeout. We'll take one as well. 2:39 to play in his first half. Big drive for Alleman. They trail by 16. Will they finish it in a big way?
Every day, every season, all over our state, young people participating in IHSA sports are learning an important lesson: that everyone can be a champion by discovering the value of being on a team, working hard toward a goal, and doing their best. Country Financial salutes them all and is proud to be part of IHSA life.
The IHSA State Championship Games on Comcast Sportsnet are brought to you by KFC. Today tastes so good. Comcast Business Class. BMO Harris Bank. See how BMO Harris Commercial Bank can help you at bmoharris.com/commercial bank. And by the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Buffalo Wild Wings, proud sponsor of the IHSA State Football Championship Games.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium. Rock Island Alleman trailing Rochester 28-12 in the midst of a drive that's taken them all the way down to the 6-yard line. This is how their previous drives ended. First 2 times they had the ball, 69, 62-yard drives leading to a score. But now in the midst of a 10-play, 68-yard drive after having to punt the ball the last 2 times. Big third down on 3rd down and 6. Off the left side, it will be 4th down. It will be 4th down and 3. And now maybe the most important play call of the game to this point for Alleman.
I'd say what Evan McMahon made this play. I mean, coming off a defensive end, swimming 2 guys, he kind of took up 2 blocks, allowed the rest of the guys to come downhill and make the play.
4th and 2 from the 3.
Big down, huge down.
Fighting, they need to get inside the 1. It will be close. Very close for Weatherall. Boy, this may depend on the spot. And it looks like it may be enough. And it is. Weatherall, that last little bit will give him the 1st and goal from the 1-yard line.
His running backs run so hard. I mean, his ability to dip and lower the shoulders, know what he's trying to do, not try to do too much. Like nursing the arm a little bit there.
May have gotten it stepped on there at the end of that play, but here it is, 1st and goal. Tracy will do it himself. A must-score drive ended in a score with 1:30 to play in the first half.
I mean, what a drive. Having the 4th and 2, the Jager deciding to go for it, realizing this is a must-score drive, getting it all the way down here, having Tracy just taking it himself for the easy 1 yard.
Now a timeout is called, an important conversion here. Now remember, the first 2 times Alleman scored, they did not convert on their extra points by way of a kick or a 2-point conversion, and they find themselves trailing by 10. There's a lot of different ways you could think about this in terms of going for 1 or going for 2. Let's get Matt Rodewald's thoughts.
Well, gentlemen, coming up in halftime, I want to let you know we'll have conversations with Alleman head coach Dave DeJager and also the Rochester head coach Derek Leonard on this first half. That's kind of going back and forth. And, of course, this big play coming up here. And, yes, it's cold. We all know it. We've been talking about it all day. And maybe, Boomer, you can help me with this. There's always one offensive line coach with wearing shorts. We've got 2 down here on the Rochester sideline. Can you explain this for me?
It's just part of the culture. I mean, you usually always have the offense or defensive linemen that are, I mean, you know, they're in the trenches. I mean, they're the grunts. And so it's kind of just that whole mentality. They fear nothing and clearly not even the cold.
Well, I have to tell Matt and all our viewers, I had to convince Boomer not to wear shorts here tonight. He was ready to play ball, and I said, no, man, just put your suit on, let's go.
I mean, you feel the atmosphere, you feel the energy, and you know, as a retired player, you know, this is the closest I've been to the game since playing it myself. And I mean, you can really just feel the energy, you know, whether it's high school football, college football, professional football. I mean, this is the state play. This is the state finals.
Alleman to go for 2. Tracy, not much room. The other way is Hugerwerf. Back to the 20-yard line. He still has a chance. At the 5, he did not get into the corner. Oh, man. And that tells a story for what Adam Hugerwerf went through in a 2-point conversion attempt. And he will head to the sidelines. He'll take a breather and he'll go play defense. Here's Hugerwerf.
I mean, this is their dive option. He gets rid of the ball. He gets it to Hugerwerf. There is nowhere to go. Breaks the tackle, a little stiff arm here in the backfield, and he sees a little bit of daylight. You notice he's got Grant Dooley here, though, or Garrett Dooley tracking him and knocks him out for the big stop on the 2-play conversion.
There is Dooley. Woo. If he doesn't do that, that's 2.
I mean, that is the benefit in having a linebacker who truly can run sideline to sideline.
But Alleman finds themselves within 10, 28-18. 4 touchdowns for Rochester, 3 for Alleman. The difference is 3 missed conversion attempts. 13 plays, 74 yards, over half a quarter, 6 minutes and 15 seconds. Boomer Grigsby, that line right there is exactly what Alleman needs to do in the second half. Yeah, they have to get some Rochester stops, but that is Rock Island Alleman football.
You manage the clock, control the clock, slow ground and pound football. And as long as it ends up in a score for you, you have done everything that you can. You've scored, you put points on the board for your offense, and even more importantly, you have kept Rochester's explosive offense off the field.
Yet 90 seconds here is more than enough time for Rochester to get back on the board. And Blake Pasley ready to return this kickoff. He's had 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the playoffs against Charleston and Peoria Notre Dame of 89 and 85 yards respectively.
Pasley is fast. I mean, you've seen him come running up on that play, on the last play, and he was the one that actually got the stiff arm, but he came out of nowhere and just kind of blazed in there.
Blake Pasley, great athlete. He's a junior high school pole vault state champion. Big cast on the right arm there of Reed Watson, and all of 89 seconds here for Rochester to go over 70 yards for a score. We've seen quick touchdown drives tonight. The capabilities, of course, of this offense. Boomer was talking about the semifinal game against Harrisburg, a game that Rochester won 49-22. They scored 49 points in the first 22 minutes of that game. And that ball is, he got it. Pasley got his hands underneath that one. And that is a first down to the 41.
I mean, this is nothing special for Rochester. I mean, their entire offense is almost run like a 2-minute drill.
They are up, ready to roll. On the ground, Dooley gets one block, gets another. Dances inside. He is in Alleman territory at the Pioneer 40-yard line. 20-yard run for Garrett Dooley.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, that was a great run by Garrett Dooley. You know, he follows the blockers, does a little karaoke, a little sidestep, you know, a video game move. Right here, I think, is where, fortunately, he ended up out of bounds. I seen Leonard on the sideline yelling at him, like, when you have your chance to get out of bounds, get out.
Green will go right up the middle. Rochester has 2 timeouts remaining. They may use one right here. They will, with a minute 4 to play in the first half in a 28-18 lead.
Such an athletic move, though, by a 6'3", 225-pound running back.
Well, tonight, Austin Green, the quarterback for Rochester, he has directed this offense not only to the 28 points, he's done more than just directed. He's been an integral part, getting it first of all to Gabe Ferguson. This one was a 34-yard touchdown, our first score of the game. But Austin Green can do it so many different ways. That time he gets the short pickup that will lead to this scoring run. Green, 17-yard touchdown run. How about another one? How about 22 yards? Austin Green makes people miss. Now he is in charge of bringing his team home here in the final 64 seconds of the first half. 6 of 10, 132 yards and a score in the air, another 82 on the ground with 2 touchdowns. Over 200 yards of offense, 3 touchdowns in 1 half of play, and he may not be done yet.
We see Rochester in the true spread offense, the 5 wide.
And that ball smacked. You could hear it hit, and I'll bet that didn't feel too good here in a night like that. Getting his big paws up there. Sagan Cruz, number 77, a 6 foot, 237-pound senior.
It's a good play by the defensive front. I mean, these guys forget sometimes that in order to get their hands up there, and it makes such a difference. I mean, we've seen the National Football League this year and all the stories they're doing on Watts from Houston and his ability that even if he doesn't get pressure or get the sack, just to get his hands in the throwing lane.
There's a big hole up the middle for Green. To the 22-yard line and a first down. We'll start the clock with 55 seconds left in the half.
Tackled by 55, Scott Schill.
Just a little 1 step back and off he goes.
I mean, it's just such a threat when you can spread out and you have a quarterback that is not afraid to run in between the tackles.
Dooley forces his way down inside the 20. Leonard not calling a timeout. You get this snap off in about 10 seconds. Again, Dooley. And this may be the timeout call. It does with 31 seconds. You know, we talk about how quick this offense moves, but one thing that you have to do to make it move is you need to get yourself an offense that will believe in all 11 players. That ball is whistled dead, you get up and go. Dave Earnhardt along with Boomer Grigsby. You ever played anything anywhere near that fast where they said once you're down, get back up and snap it again?
Fortunately, no. I mean, I was part of a very high shift motion offense in Kansas City for a while, and I was tired before the play even started, so I'm very happy that I never played in the hurry-up style offense.
And on the other side, defensively, this is tough to replicate in your practice. You can have a scout team all you want, but how do you replicate that speed?
Well, it's interesting. I watched them practice this week, and what Coach Leonard does is they'll actually have their offense line up with a scout team defense 15 yards on each side, and they'll actually run the ball. They'll run the plays back to back. And it's the way that he can most efficiently get the amount of snaps while maintaining that fast-paced offense and emulate the way that they're going to play the game.
There's Sagan Cruz. He's been on the field a little bit tonight. Got a big deflection moments ago, but now he's in charge of defending the final 15 yards and the final 31 seconds of the half. After the timeout, Green surveys the defense. To the end zone. Touchdown. Blake Pasley somehow is able to stay in bounds, and Green found him. What a job by Pasley. Green, 16-yard touchdown pass.
Well, they've developed great chemistry over the course of the year. I mean, Pasley himself has more completions than Rock Allman does as a team passing. I mean, once again, though, I mean, Austin Green getting out a little bit. Talk about putting the ball on the money, catching him in the corner of the end zone. I mean, he's just such a threat. We've seen him run the ball. We've seen him throw the ball.
Twinkle toes for Blake Pasley. Just nudges this toe down in the end zone. Nice.
Very, very well done. You know, just to have the ability and to think in order to throw that extra foot down, make sure that you get it in bounds. But, I mean, even more impressive is Austin Green's ability not just to throw the ball, but to throw the ball on the run that way.
So we wondered whether 90 seconds was going to be enough for Rochester to get in for a score. Well, it only took them a little over a minute. We still have 26 seconds left. The Rockets have scored 35 points here in the first half against a team who has averaged giving up just 8.9 points per ball game.
I mean, Allman has played such tremendous defense all throughout the year, but I mean, we've spoken on it. They've never faced a team with this powerful of an offense and this many weapons of how they'll stretch things out in formation. You know, they'll running between the tackles, pulling guards and tackles, and leading with the fullback. But what they do such a great job of is spreading the team out and then utilizing Austin Green as the ability to run the ball in between the tackles from the quarterback position.
6 possessions in the first half for Rochester. They have punted 1 time. They have scored touchdowns on the other 5. Fitzsimmons, as he always does for Rochester, getting a workout with the extra points and with his kickoffs. 35-18. And that hits off an Alleman up man. And the Pioneers will cover it up. Blake Pasley went from number 5 receiver last year to number 1 receiver this year. Why? He handles his feet like this.
Good catch. I mean, once you see Austin Green, I mean, he's rolling out. He throws this ball on the run, and the only place it needs to be. But Pasley does such a great job of dropping that foot, of understanding where he is in the end zone, and knowing that he has to get that foot down to make this a completion.
Pasley's touchdown catch, his 9th of the season. Alleman to take a knee and close out the half. And you got what you came for here after the first 24 minutes of play. Austin Green came looking for a state championship. Garrett Dooley looking to do it again. Those two have been on teams that have won the last 2. And let's go down on the field to Matt Rodewald.
Well, Derek, do you have a good feel for this offense yet today?
Yeah, you know, man, what a game. You know, they came back with a heck of a drive on us there at the end, but then we came back with a good drive. So, man, it's a great game right now against 2 very good teams.
What matchups are you seeing out there? That last touchdown, you talked about a receiver widening out. Is there something about splits that you like with man coverage?
Yeah, you know, we just have to have good space. We want to space them out so we can run and pass, and that's part of it. Yeah, no, you're exactly right. We just want to get them spread out, and, you know, that was a great route by Blake Pasley there.
You've been here before, last couple times. You go into halftime with a lead, a comfortable lead. What do you tell your kids?
Man, you got to keep playing hard. These guys are pretty good, and they have, you know, we've really earned these points, and we just got to keep playing hard, and, you know, it's the last game, so you have nothing to leave out.
Okay, Derek, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Head Coach Derek Leonard of the Rochester Rockets. Dave, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Matt Rodewald. Boomer, you take a look at this first half, 35-18, and why is it a big lead for Rochester? Plays like Blake Pasley makes it happen.
How come an insurance company thinks 15 minutes is enough time to do a good job? How come
insurance companies tell me how much I can save
before they even know what I need?
How
come nobody gives me a financial plan
I can understand?
Country Financial does. Your country representative can help protect what you have now and prepare for the future.
Somebody who knows retirement planning and insurance.
No kidding.
At Country, we always ask, what's your idea of financial security?
Simmons, I got a paycheck for Simmons. It's your first of many.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? I was thinking bigger. Excellent.
Every checking account should come with a little guidance. BMO Harris Bank.
The North Face exists to innovate for athletes.
Things should be clearing. Honestly, they're not.
Conrad and the North Face designed gear to get one of the toughest first descents ever. The North Face keeps you protected in the world's harshest conditions.
It's time to dig deep.
Get athlete-driven innovation at thenorthface.com.
Chicagoland's largest Black Friday mattress sale is at Back to Bed, starting with a $99 Queen Super Doorbuster. Or get a Beauty Rest Queen for only $199. Plus save up to $300 and get a free box spring with Beauty Rest True Energy. And for big savings on Stearns & Foster, and up to a $300 free gift with Tempur-Pedic. Come back to bed and make yourself comfortable. And save now through Monday.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium here in Champaign on the campus of the University of Illinois. The Rockets of Rochester in control and on their way to a third straight state championship. We'll have stats and highlights coming up next. But first, let's take a look back at the IHSA Girls State Volleyball Championships.
Redbird Arena in Normal hosted the 2012 Girls Volleyball State Tournament. In Class 1A, Kansas Tri-County Co-op defeated Valmeyer 25-15, 25-21 to earn third place. Mount Pulaski met Rockford Keith Country Day School in the championship. Keith Country Day won the first and third sets 25-21, 25-22 to earn the 1A crown. The 2A third place match went 3 sets between Edwards County and Port Byron Riverdale. Riverdale won sets 1 and 3 by scores of 25-15, 25-12. Dakota and Deer Creek Mackinac advanced to the championship match, with the Lady Chiefs getting the sweep 25-23, 25-21. Champaign Centennial earned third place in Class 3A with a 25-15, 25-19 sweep over Jacksonville. Wheaton St. Francis and Richmond Burton met in the 3A championship. The Spartans claimed the championship by scores of 25-21, 25-20. Chicago Mother McCauley met Libertyville in the Class 4A third place match and won 25-22, 25-22 in straight sets. The 4A championship match between Nutrier and Bennett Academy went 3 sets, with the Red Wings taking sets 2 and 3 to claim the championship with scores of 25-22, 25-17.
Back to Memorial Stadium, Rochester fans, young and old, having fun in the cold. The Rockets with a 35-18 lead on Alleman. Stats and highlights coming up next for the Class 4A State Championship.
How come nobody told me about all the hidden costs
of cheap insurance?
How come?
How come insurance companies tell me how much I can save
before they even know what I need?
How come
nobody asked me what my idea
of retirement is?
Country Financial does. Your country representative can help protect what you have now and prepare for the future.
Somebody who knows retirement planning
and insurance.
I like that.
At Country, we always ask, what's your idea of financial security?
Protective football. Watch every game at Buffalo Wild Wings and enjoy a multitude of big screen TVs and our signature wings. Go to protectthefootball.com for your nearest location in Chicagoland. Buffalo Wild Wings, proud sponsor of the IHSA.
Black Friday at Grossinger Autoplex in Lincolnwood begins Friday at 5 a.m. Every vehicle is on sale for 20 hours only. Save 30% off new Buick and GMC and 40% off pre-driven. 40, 30, 20. Black Friday at Grossinger Autoplex. Every vehicle is on sale. Only at Grossinger Autoplex in Lincolnwood. Visit BlackFridayCarDeal.com.
What is your business waiting for? Data demands are exploding. Bandwidth is struggling to keep up. IT costs, they're out of control. Now's the time to meet with Comcast Business Class about Metro Ethernet. Comcast Ethernet scales from 10 megabits to 10 gigabits per second to meet every data demand. And you'll save 30% over old technology from the phone company. Don't wait. Start saving. Call 866-429-3047 and talk to a Comcast Ethernet expert today.
Now this is a party. I don't know, I think I might bail.
Yeah, it's pretty dead.
One is never enough. New KFC Dip-'Ems. Freshly prepared tenders dipped in irresistible sauces. Try a 20-piece bucket with 6 sauces.
first glance, this may look like another day at Barrington High School football practice, but actually, it's Calvin Park High School practice.
Last year I started with only 18 players, and this year I've tripled my numbers, and our school just didn't have enough funds to keep up with the kids that were interested in playing.
So Kurt Cooney reached out to some friends and colleagues for help. Joe Sanchez, head football coach at Barrington High School, was the only one to respond. He had some extra gear lying around.
It was a no-brainer. I was going to respond in some capacity, yes or no, but I was hoping yes. I just needed to get administrative approval, and we did.
From practice pants to cleats, Cooney estimates the team got about $5,000 worth of equipment from Barrington.
Oh, it was like, I don't know, like Christmas Day, I guess you could call it.
Some of the players still use these old shoulder pads. This one is about 7 years old, but they had ones even older than that were about 10 years old that they threw out. And Cooney tells me shoulder pads usually last between 5 to 7 years. Israel Sanchez was one of the players who went to Barrington High School to pick up the new gear.
We walked in and it was just this big old football stadium they already had, and we walked into the locker room, they had different cages for every different sport. Like here we only got one cage for just one for all the sports. I mean, I wish I would have went there. I wish I would have went to school like that.
Calvin Park High School may not have the same high quality weight room and its own stadium like Barrington High School, but that's okay to guys like Sanchez, because new gear has brought new meaning to the Ward team.
It gets everybody together, everybody's ready to go. Like, it ain't some people can suit up today and then other people got to suit up tomorrow. Everybody can suit up and ready to go.
And things aren't just improving on the football field.
Now that they all feel like they're part of something, it keeps them more involved in school and wanting to do better in the classroom, I feel. And it seems to show in their grades. Just this year alone, a lot of these kids, their grades have already improved.
Barrington school colors may not match Calvin Park's black and gold, but that doesn't matter to the players, who wear the Barrington name proudly.
And that was Elise Miniker reporting for the IHSA Television Network. We're here at Memorial Stadium, Rochester in control. Let's send it upstairs and say hello to Dave and Boomer, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Matt, where it's probably 20 degrees warmer up here than it is down there. Still very brisk. And here's the Rock Island Alleman team, Boomer, that came in, had given up 26 points in a game twice. Twice this year to go along with 4 shutouts. They have seen an offense for Rochester unlike any they have seen. They knew they were up against it, and in the first 2 quarters have proved that out.
Well, I mean, they knew what they were facing when they came into the game. You know, I mean, and ultimately they're trying to manage the clock and hold on to the ball. But unfortunately for them, I mean, Rochester just keeps getting the ball, and every time they get it, they put the ball in the end zone. I mean, they're so explosive, and they do so many different things, and Austin Green is just having a great day.
Let's take a look and see how Rochester has stuck 35 points on the scoreboard here in the first half. It didn't take long. First minute and a half. Gabe Ferguson on the receiving end of this short toss, and he does the rest on his own. 7-0 Rochester. You like the big man, Garrett Dooley? I guess you could give it to him on a ball inside the 1-yard line. But you've talked about Austin Green, a couple of slick runs here.
Well, this is the play that I like the most. I mean, if you notice, he comes directly downhill, but he waits for his lineman to create the gap. He was patient. He slowed down for a second, having great patience as a runner. And you see, leading that way, he breaks the tackle, but he follows his lineman right through the hole. And then once he gets in space, it's all about just being a player. He breaks it all the way back out to the left and into the end zone.
Now, and he can throw it, puts it in a good spot, and he has a man on the other end.
And this is a great on-the-run throw, but even better catch as Pasley brings it down, just kind of inching his foot down to make sure that he had something in bounds.
Here is your Comcast Business Class first half statistics. You see the score, 35-18. How about the rushing yards for Alleman? They've rushed for 191 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. And then the other side, very balanced for Rochester. And you know, if you take a look at Alleman, 18 points against a very good Rochester defense. You have to like that. 3 missed conversions has hurt a little bit, but the offensive execution has been there for Alleman. They've done exactly what they've needed to do.
Yeah, I mean, they've played Alleman football, and they've actually broken a couple plays for very big plays. I mean, they just need more opportunities to score the ball.
You take a look at halftime coaches and what the coaches can say at the half. What can Alleman do? What can they change here in the second half? Especially, I guess, we're talking defensively.
I mean, they've played tremendous defense all throughout the year, and if anyone has an ability to adjust, I'm confident in Coach Jager. But ultimately, they have to stop the big play. I mean, Rochester's moving the ball downfield, but the majority of their are big plays. I mean, they're either large runs, or they're, the little screen now passes that they can do, and they spread them out. I mean, Allman has to find a way in order to locate Austin Green and make sure that someone is on him at all times.
Allman defense giving up 35 points in the first half. They have their work cut out for them. The Pioneers have been to this game 4 times. They've come up second place each time. On the other side, for Rochester, the Rockets, 2-time defending state champions. They look to make it 3 in a row, and they've got the upper hand. 35-18, we get set for second half play coming up.
How come insurance companies tell me I can save like 40%?
Before they even know what I need.
How come
my company never asked me
My idea of financial security.
How
come nobody gives me a financial plan?
I can understand.
Country Financial does. Your country representative can help protect what you have now and prepare for the future.
Somebody who knows retirement planning
and insurance.
Yeah.
At Country, we always ask, what's your idea of financial security?
This program is brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy. Taking physical therapy to a higher level. Ask your doctor about ATI Physical Therapy. Get there.
Steakhouses do big, but not double XL big. Only Taco Bell's got triple the premium juicy steak and tons of toppings on a giant plate of crunchy tortilla chips. The new double XL steak nachos from Taco Bell. Yeah, we do big.
United Bears Recap. Mondays at 4:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Get NBA League Pass right now from Dish Season Tickets, and don't miss a minute of live NBA action for only $189. NBA League Pass delivers games on TV, online, and mobile. That's right, you get the games on all platforms. Watch live action wherever you are, and see the big names who made big moves in the offseason. Get NBA League Pass now for only 4 payments of $47.25. To order, call 1-877-DISH-PPV or visit mydish.com/basketball.
Oh, this is Jazz. Wait a second. Wait a second.
Come on,
hey, tell us.
Come on, man.
Black Friday's coming. Are we going to be beat?
Man,
Are we going to be beat? No one beats us.
Nobody. Tell them about it,
We
Josh.
have the best gift with purchase Black Friday weekend. If you spend $9.99, get the new iPhone 5.
Oh!
Spend $14.99.
Oh, my
the
God.
iPad Mini.
Alberts.
And at $2,500, get the new iPad. So,
Woo!
hey, we'll see you.
Is that
Black
why we
Friday
say
weekend.
at Alberts?
53 first half points on the board. 35 belong to Rochester, and they lead your 4A state championship ball game. Here are your state champs from earlier today: Maroa Forsyth, Mercer County, and Aurora Christian. Coming up tomorrow, you have Montini looking to go for their 4th championship in a row, taking on a 1-loss Morris team. And then in 6A, very intriguing matchup here. Some great players for Crete-Monee you're going to be hearing on a collegiate level. On the other side, Cary Grove runs the option to perfection, are both 13-0 teams. And then in 7A, it's the game that everyone has waited for all season long. 13-0 Glenbard West. The Hilltoppers take on the 13-0 Lincoln Way East Griffins. Those two teams in the final AP poll shared the #1 ranking spot. And then we'll wrap it up at 7 o'clock. Glenbard North and Mount Carmel, a rematch of a semifinal in 2007 won by Glenbard North. That's tomorrow. But coming up next, second half, Rochester looking to go 3 in a row. 35-18. They've got a leg up on Allman.
National studies show that students who participate in activities like music, sports, and drama not only have better grades and attendance, but they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over. Take part. Get set for life.
I look good, I look good, I look exactly the way you wish you could. I look good, I look good, come on. Right, come on. I look good,
Now this is a party.
I don't know, I think
think I might bail. Yeah, it's pretty dead.
One is never enough. New KFC Dip-'Ems. Freshly prepared tenders dipped in irresistible sauces. Try a 20-piece bucket with 6 sauces.
Looks like a final score is just the halftime score here as we welcome you back to Memorial Stadium on the campus of the University of Illinois. Let's go down to Susanna Collins. She's out there in the cold with Dave DeJager.
All right, Coach, down 17 heading into second half. What did you say to your guys at halftime?
Well, we just got to keep battling. I mean, that was kind of it was a tough one. Gave a touchdown there at the end of the second quarter, but we just got to keep fighting. I mean, our guys are playing hard. They're pretty good, but we just need to keep hanging in there and see what we can do in the fourth quarter.
That Rochester offense is potent. How are you guys going to stop them?
Well, we just got to do a better job. I mean, they're very, very good, no question about it. But we just need to block and tackle and get off blocks and go get it.
All right, thanks so much. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Guys, send it back up to you.
Thank you very much, Susanna. Boomer Grigsby, of course, former NFL player, Illinois State University Redbird and Canton High School product. And Boomer, you take a look at the early moments of a third quarter, and a team that's trailing better get the ball first. Alleman's going to get a chance. Now, they had that one touchdown drive of about 6 minutes and 70-plus yards. Can they afford to go 70 yards and take up 6 minutes again?
Well, no. I mean, the game is early. There's still an entire half of football to play. But as we said earlier, I believe this is a must-score drive for them. I mean, they are not a come-from-behind football team. Their offense is not even designed schematically for that, for the quick score or the deep threat. Like, they need to be very efficient and capitalize on all their opportunities. Is mainly what I think they need to do is they need to somehow create turnovers on defense. That's one of the only ways they're going to get back into this football game is to be as efficient as they have been on offense at times and then create turnovers on defense.
But by the same token, you take a look at Austin Green, Garrett Dooley, some 3-year starters here for Rochester. They are not the type of players that necessarily give the ball up. Austin Green has just showed a headiness that really belies his senior year, even in terms of how he reads and how he handles and manages the game.
Well, and with this lead, it should change somewhat of the play calling that Derek Leonard will go with. I mean, it would be a good time knowing that Allman's offense is so clock heavy with the way that they run the ball, snap in and snap out, that at the same time, Derek Leonard would probably needs to capitalize on that and put the ball on the ground a little bit more. But we both know with as much of an offensive genius as he kind of is, he will seize his moments and he may put the ball on the ground a little bit, but he's still going to take his opportunities. I mean, high-scoring offense.
We talked about the Montini-Morris game coming up tomorrow. Morris defeated Sacred Heart Griffin in the semifinals. Sacred Heart Griffin, of course, coached by Derek Leonard's father, Ken Leonard, and Derek was so hoping that he could coach in a championship game on one day and his dad could coach in one in the next. However, Dad got the upper hand this year, giving Rochester the only loss in the season, 29-26, and that came in the second week of the year. The return will come across the 30-yard line, and that's where Alleman will start here in the third quarter. Susanna Collins, Matt Rodewald, Boomer Grigsby, Dave Bernhardt, we've been with you here this evening, and we are set for what promises to be for Rochester fans an opportunity to get excited about their third championship. On the other side, for Alleman, 4 times they have finished second. Only one school has gone to 5 title games without winning a championship. That was Lexington High School. Wind chill below 20 right now. It was 17 degrees at game time. Wind continues. Our first snap of the second half. We'll go to Hoogerwerth, and that's a short gain. And who's on the tackle? Garrett Dooley once again.
Such good instincts as a middle linebacker. I mean, like I keep saying, in order to read the play and have those instincts is one thing, but his ability that he comes downhill, he's always coming downhill with his initial steps. I mean, those are things that are very hard to teach.
Well, and you speak from experience, of course. Linebacker at Illinois State, 3-year All-American, and the Kansas City Chiefs, both linebacker and fullback. So you've got a soft spot in your heart here for Garrett Dooley.
I do. I've steadily became a fan.
Short gain. It will be 3rd down and 5. This is Doak on the carry. Connor Doak, fullback, rushed for about 5.1 yards per carry this season. For Doak, knee injuries took away nearly 2 years of his career, his freshman and sophomore years. So an opportunity to play here in his senior season in a state championship game, can't beat that. But he's got to face number 34.
Well, and Alleman, one thing that we haven't even yet discussed is they're without one of their premier running backs in Tom Noe, who went down earlier this year with a torn ACL.
And that will be 2 yards short of the first down. It took a long time to get to the near sidelines. The tackle made by number 15, Jeremy Bivens. We speak of Tom Noe, the different things he could bring to this offense, but when you get sideline to sideline speed like Rochester will bring at you, it'd be tough no matter who's in the ball game.
I mean, this is a safety coming from the last level and coming downhill, reading the play and shooting the alley in order to make the tackle.
It is 4th down and 2. We are a minute and a half into the third quarter. The ball is on the Alleman 40-yard line, and they're going to go for it.
You have to go for it. We said this is a must-score drive. They need to put points on the board.
And that will be enough for the first down. Twisting, turning, and fighting is Sean Weatherall. It's a confident offense. Confidence in your offensive line.
He's been the go-to guy. I mean, he converted an earlier 4th down that was very important. I mean, the kid runs so hard. His ability to lower his shoulders, drive his legs. He's who I would hand the ball to every time it was 4th and 1 or 4th and 2.
Pretty good numbers here early in the third quarter. 99 yards and a touchdown on 11 carries. And it was Weatherall, the 48-yard touchdown run with just about 3 minutes gone in the game, that pulled Alleman within a point. Tracy, play action. And a little bit too much, and it's probably a good thing it was.
I'll tell you what, once you see the numbers, I think they need to hand the ball off to Sean Weatherall more. I mean, 11 carries for 99 yards. That's a pretty solid average.
Weatherall in the season averaging 6.4 yards per carry. So we see a little play action there from the Pioneers. Obviously, we talked earlier, only 72 passes thrown by Tracy coming into this game. That was through 13 games. What'd you have? 83% of their offense has been on the ground. This will be across midfield. They keep on pounding. Weatherall, 6'2", 185-pound senior. He, along with John Tracy and Connor Wan, all started in the state championship baseball game this past spring. And another crucial third down. 3rd down and 4. Tracy, whose father, Mike, really ignited this Alleman football program. We'll give it off to Hoogerwerf. A chase around the end. Hoogerwerf, the speed to get there. Boy, did he turn on the jets when he got to the numbers.
It's a great first down run. I mean, he can cook. I mean, the play is actually not there. He has confidence in his speed, beats the defender to the edge. Whenever you're running backwards, it's not usually a good thing, but, you know, he obviously outran him, seen the marker, dove for it, and got the first down. It was a big conversion.
Adam Hoogerwerf with 83 yards and 11 rushes, so a lot of weapons in that backfield. They'll get about 4, maybe 5 on that carry. Hoogerwerf, 4-year starting point guard, of course, has had his basketball season delayed 2 of the last 3 years as he's played in Champaign on Thanksgiving weekend.
So this is the way the offense is designed. Move the chains on first down. Put yourself in these positions that you can take more of a shot because you're not so focused on the first down.
Quick hole for Doak. That should be enough to move the chains. And we've already played 3.5 minutes here in the third quarter. This is typical Rock Island Alleman football. 226 yards on the ground for Alleman, but big numbers on the Rochester side on the ground as well. It's over 400 yards rushing here, and we've just started the third quarter. You can put a 0 next to those rushing numbers on that one. The stick from number 95, Evan McMinn.
Another great play by McMinn. I mean, we talked on this earlier, the best way to be, he just simply beats the block to the inside, does a little swim move, and to get him in the backfield, it completely disrupts the play, but not even disrupt the play, just go in the backfield and make it yourself.
So he said McMinn, not a big man, 6'1", 185, but he is quick. After a loss of a yard. Tracy will get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe another yard, but it will be 3rd down and long now.
Still a good decision that Tracy made there. I mean, you're in a position where you need to score. It's a must-score drive. You're down in the ball game, but there wasn't anyone to throw the ball to, and especially when you're a team that doesn't throw the ball very often, to force something usually is just going to equal a bigger mistake. So to make the right decision and come over, this time of possession is amazing. Man, Alleman is doing everything that they do very well. I mean, they're managing the clock and they're rushing the football, and the score just doesn't show it.
Tracy a throw under pressure, and he's going down. He's got a big old cast on his hand. He broke his hand in the 2nd round against Charleston. That's Reed Watson. He's a run stuffer primarily, but when he gets the blitz call, he loves it.
And Reed Watson is a great linebacker. He's just blitzing here off the edge, and he doesn't get enough credit because he's playing next to a guy named Garrett Dooley, but he's had a tremendous season. He's a big guy. You look at him, he has the prototypical linebacker look to him with the giant neck roll, and he has the attitude to go with it, and he is definitely more of a run stopper, but you know, every now and then they will send him on the blitz and he gets it done.
4th down and 16. And a timeout is called by Alleman. Dave Jager will take it. 6:36 to play in the 3rd quarter. Alleman has had the entire way here in the 3rd. They're faced with a 4th and 16. What will they do? We'll find out when we come back.
Why do we use FS? There's somebody that gives us good direction and good advice. We're here to maximize profitability, and FS is here to help us do that. I would say that FS is part of our root system. Spring, summer, and fall, they always come through for me. What we're doing is environmentally friendly because we're putting the fertilizer where we need it. At the end of the day, it's just about working with somebody that you trust.
FS, the local answer to your world of needs.
Protective football. Watch every game at Buffalo Wild Wings and enjoy a multitude of big screen TVs and our signature wings. Go to protectivefootball.com for your nearest location in Chicagoland. Buffalo Wild Wings, proud sponsor of the IHSA. This program is brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy. Taking physical therapy to a higher level. Ask your doctor about ATI Physical Therapy. Get there. You're watching Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
Well, if you've got a play call in the Alleman book, it's 4th down and 16. It would have to be a special one. They need it right now. The 4A state championship ball game, they've used 5.5 minutes off the clock here in the 3rd quarter. This is where they sit. Tracy looks to create, and the Rochester defense puts the stand up. Garrett Dooley once again. He has the ball in his hands and turns away the Pioneers.
I mean, what an incredible player this kid is. I mean, running back, middle linebacker with unbelievable instincts. But what's even impressive here is a high school linebacker with the ability to defend and pass coverage. I mean, you see he drops back, he feels the crossing route coming in behind him and just follows it along underneath and has a big interception. I mean, a huge playmaker. This is what a Division I athlete looks like. There's a reason this kid is going to the University of Wisconsin.
Now the Rockets from Rochester will start it. Green will just get a couple of yards. One of your great collegiate football games was played right here on this field. Now, I don't think Dooley's trying to take away any of the limelight that you may have had there, but you know what it's like here on this turf.
I do. I mean, this was a great place to play. I mean, playing at Illinois State, you know, clearly it wasn't near as big of a venue as Memorial Stadium. It was always a privilege to be able to play a Division I opponent and a lot more larger program, and it was truly a unique experience. I enjoyed every second of it, despite that we lost.
And they always remember that, don't they? It's 3rd down and about 8 here for Rochester. Green on the run again. That was a similar play that he got to Pasley for the touchdown, and he gets the completion right where he needed to be. He's at the 37-yard line. You can move the chains.
He's getting waved off by another official who's claiming, I think, that he may have had a better angle, that the ball might have hit the ground. See what they do here with it.
They're going to bring it back. Let's take a look back at it. Hard to tell from there.
Hard to tell. I mean, from that angle that he had, maybe he could see the ball better than we could, but it almost looked like the ball kind of slid in over his thigh.
But it will be an incomplete pass. It will be 4th down. The umpire and our officiating crew, we showed them to you earlier. He made the call that it was incomplete. And that's a crew that is worked together. Green, we've seen him punt a couple of times in this situation. A short little punch kick. Hugerwerf cannot run away from the white jerseys. Well, now that drive for Rochester took about, well, 1:08 seconds. They did not move it, and now it will be Ulliman's opportunity. And even if they have their typical drive, Boomer, that could run out the 3rd quarter clock. I mean, it's almost as if they can't afford those 6-minute drives right now.
Well, it's a tough position to be in for them. I mean, like we said, that they're not designed to come from behind, especially when the deficit is this large. But at the same time, we've seen them pop 2 major big play runs earlier in this game that, you know, they're capable of any play of the game.
Will be your 5-yard variety. Matt Rodewald on the sidelines.
You're seeing Reed Watson with a cast playing out there. Of course, he broke his hand in the game against Charleston. It's one of those injuries where you need 2 weeks off, but obviously this is the playoffs, so that ain't happening. He's just going to keep on playing. This is a guy who gave up football prior to high school thinking he didn't want to do it. That was his freshman year. Saw how much fun all his friends were having his freshman year. Next 3 years, he decided to come back out, possibly win 3 state championships. Pretty good plan.
I would say he had that strategy in his back pocket, Matt. Thanks. He's feeling it right now, but Ulliman will pick up the 1st down.
And we spoke of him earlier. I mean, Reed Watson is a very underrated linebacker for Rochester. I mean, you know, most of the credit all goes to Garrett Dooley, but these guys play very well. You know, they have a great coordinator in Bucher, and just their overall package and the speed that they play with, that they have in the secondary safety in that corner, and, you know, Evan McMinn and Leeper on the defensive line. I mean, there's weapons on defense the same way there is on offense.
Hugerwerf will cross midfield. What's the Rochester defense last year? They survived a 42-39 victory over Richmond Burton, stopping a drive late in that ball game and what was really a great ball game. But Derek Leonard admitted last year that at times the defense scared me because he knew they were going to give up some points and some yards. This time the defense has come together and they have been solid, and they have really played an outstanding ball game here today, giving up only 18 points to an Ulliman team despite Ulliman's big rushing numbers. Hugerwerf. It should be enough, though. They may be close at the 42-yard line.
I mean, Ulliman has had success running the football. They've just needed more opportunities to do so. I mean, they're running bread and butter plays, and you see any one of them. You know, I mean, there's alleys at times, and there's always an opportunity that he's going to break one for another big run. I mean, we've seen 2 plays in the 1st quarter, you know, that were significant big plays, and there's been a few plays in this half where, you know, the Ulliman running back has just kind of went down, you know, by the last defender, where it very easily could have been a hand down and turned into another 6 points.
Drake Leeper, number 57, grabs a hold. He tries to strip it, but give credit to Weatherall for hanging on.
Leeper's having a tremendous season. I mean, special mention All-Stater. You know, anytime that you play the level of competition that both of these teams play, I mean, you're typically playing bigger schools all year long, you know, and to make that significant of an impact and be an All-State selection, I mean, it's a compliment to all the kids that are.
A 2nd and 10. We've hit the 3-minute mark in the 3rd quarter. Tracy was running the option, but he had no option. Right, or make that Evan McMinn once again.
Brought down by 95, Evan McMinn.
There's a testament to a defense that Tracy, who has run the option. Fantastic all season long. Had nowhere to pitch, nowhere to run. And it's 3rd down and 10. The sideline for Rochester urging their fans on. Allman fans know they need 10 yards. Tracy, not much room there. It's a good thing for Rochester that he put that foot on the white marking outside the field, because he was ready to scoot down the sideline. It'll be 4th and 10.
Seen Rochester switch their personnel a little bit. I mean, Evan McMinn was playing on the left side or on the right side of the defensive front earlier, and now he's playing on the left side.
There's the short side of the field. There's McMinn, number 95, joined by 57 Leeper. Number 62 is Audie State. A lot of experience. Allman with almost 25 minutes of clock time. Rochester 8:54, and yet it's a 17-point lead for the Rockets. Looking for 10 yards. Ball in the air. And again, for the second time here in the 3rd quarter, the Rochester Rockets turn away the Allman Pioneers.
Broken up by 35, James Pierce.
Tracy throws this one up. The best play is to knock it down. That's exactly what Rochester has done. It's gone the Rockets' way. We'll be back with more after this from Champaign.
From the gridiron to the hardwood, on the links or on the track, on the diamond or on the ice. Go to prepfilms.com. It's easy. You can order your DVD online. At prepfilms.com, you make the memories. We'll make them last forever.
Simmons, I got a paycheck for Simmons. It's your first of many.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? I was thinking bigger. Excellent.
Every checking account should come with a little guidance. BMO Harris Bank.
Allman sideline, very quiet place right now. You look at that same score you are, 35-18. That was our halftime score. Now Rochester gets the ball back. 2 minutes and 5 seconds to work with. They'll have the win at their back. Green has squirted through for a couple of touchdowns on that play. Nearly got another. Green headed to Eastern Illinois University. He will become the 4th straight Rochester quarterback to play Division I college football. Of course, it was Will Lunt to get things started going to Western Illinois. Sean Robinson, the record-setting quarterback, headed to Purdue. Wes Lunt playing right on this field last year in the state championship ball game, the starting quarterback at Oklahoma State University this year. Now Austin Green will head to Charleston at Eastern Illinois University, and he'll have it across midfield.
Austin Green, the ball carrier. Tackled by Aaron Murray.
8.9 points per game. That's what the defense for Dave Jager has given up this year per game. 35 in the first half tonight. Green, the first down. It was nearly a little bit more inside the 40. Well, to put those numbers you saw there in a little bit different perspective, 116 points allowed through the first 13 games this season, and 35 in 2 quarters tonight. Green looking for it. There's Dooley. First down inside the 20.
Austin Green is having an amazing game. I mean, this kid has legitimately done it all.
23 yards on the completion to Dooley. Entry to Allman with 55 seconds to play here in the 3rd quarter. Brandon Sheridan defensive back for the Pioneers, on his back. That momentarily quiets the crowd here at Memorial Stadium, a stadium that will fill up again tomorrow. Great action here coming to you beginning at 10 a.m. That's right, back-to-back 12-hour days. Tomorrow we get things started. Montini will head out looking for their 4th consecutive state title, taking on the Morris Redskins. Crete Monee makes their first trip here. They'll face Cary Grove, followed by the Big E at 7A at 4 o'clock, Glenbard West and Lincoln Way East, and then we'll wrap it up late night. Mount Carmel and Glenbard North. Full day of football here for you tomorrow. 4 more champions to be crowned. So Sheridan will head off to the sidelines and get his treatment, and meanwhile the Rochester offense ready to roll. Green gets enough on first down.
I'll tell you what we haven't really talked about, and a certain degree of credit definitely needs to go out to Rochester's offensive line. I mean, you know, the guys in the trenches usually get the least amount of respect and support, and they've done such a great job. And I talked with their offensive line coach Derek Nelson earlier in this week, and you know, I actually watched the way that he coached and how they prepared to play a team like Alleman, and I could tell that all of his guys, you know, and they spoke in the way that they were, that they played very, very well together and had just such understanding of the system. And I mean, you see how often they pull. I mean, they've went to this play that they just ran here so many times today, where you see the guard and tackle both pull across, and Austin Green just take it right up the center of the field. But they're doing such a great job of winning at the point of attack.
Now the ball inside the 5-yard line. Green turns away, doesn't like what he sees, and that ends the 3rd quarter. Well, newsflash. After 53 points scored in the first half, no points scored in the 3rd. We may get something early in the 4th, though.
How come nobody told me about all the hidden costs
of cheap insurance?
How come?
How come insurance companies tell me how much I can save
before they even know what I need?
How come?
How come nobody asked me what my idea
of retirement is?
Country Financial does. Your country representative can help protect what you have now and prepare for the future.
Somebody who knows retirement planning
and insurance.
I like that.
At Country, we always ask, what's your idea of financial security?
2012 MLS season continues, and Direct Kick has you, the ultimate soccer fan, covered from every angle, all for just $49. With Direct Kick, you'll have access to up to 85 games live. That's more soccer than any fan could ever imagine. Direct Kick, your full access pass to everything MLS. So don't wait. Call 1-877-DISH-PPV or visit mydish.com/soccer.
Don't miss Blaine's Farm and Fleet's 2-day super sale this Saturday and Sunday only. You'll find hundreds of weekend-only special deals throughout the store. Ladies' Lead Joplin Barley bootcut jeans are just $11.99. A Presto 22-inch griddle with removable handles, $19.99. A Skill 18-volt drill driver is $39.99. And save $40 on a shop vac 5-horsepower hang-up vac, now $39.99. Farm and Fleet's 2-day super sale this Saturday and Sunday only.
We begin the 4th quarter as we welcome you back to Memorial Stadium. 35-18 Rochester all over Alleman. Here's your BMO Harris making it happen. Play of the game. It came with 26 seconds to play in the first half. After Alleman had cut the score to 28-18, Green finds Pasley for that touchdown catch. Great footwork here by Pasley, stretched out to 35-18, and that's where we sit. Your BMO Harris making it happen. Play of the game. First and goal for the Rockets. Dooley. The pile moves forward, but not enough. Still a yard to go. That offensive line. Center Joe Roach tackles Audie Staten and Drew Zabedos, Hunter Brooks, and Drake Leeper, the guards. And it's 2nd and goal. All 11 players taking a look. And now the snap coming up. Green, oh, dives once, twice, and not there yet.
It's a hard-hitting stop by Allman. Lose him in there for a second. I mean, he's trying to reach for it and tries to jump. His knees must have been down well before they crossed the line. I mean, you can see that Green is waiting till Allman shifts, and then he looks towards the sideline to get the new play call from Leonard.
This time it's a handoff. I don't know. Dooley will come up short. How about this Allman defense here? A 3rd and goal from the 3 has become a 4th and goal from right there.
Dooley comes downhill, but I mean, look at all the Allman defenders that are there in order to meet him. I mean, this team has incredible heart, and they've showed the heart and character all throughout the season. And this game is not out of reach. It is 35-18, but to put up such a fight here on the goal line.
The surge. I don't think so. How about that for Allman? Well, you said it right there, Boomer. The pride of the defense, down 35-18. They dig in 4 straight plays. Well, Dooley never got close.
Impressive stand, very impressive stand by Allman defense, showcasing their heart and their character that they have to put up such a fighting stance at the goal line against Rochester. I mean, Rochester went to basically 3 of the exact same play, trying to slam it up there. I mean, utilizing the line we were just talking about and actually having 2 other lead backs in the backfield and handing the ball to Dooley and just nowhere to go.
Tracy will just nudge it forward. Saw our line score. We had no scoring in the 3rd quarter after a heavy offensive scoring onslaught in the first half. Well, Dave DeJager needs 99 yards, and he needs to do it fairly quickly. Our clock is moving with 9:45 to play. Rochester trying to strip the ball away from Hoogerwerf. It will be a 3rd down from the 5-yard line.
They got a little bit of breathing room there.
We keep reminding you of all these players that go both ways for Allman. Be a well-conditioned athlete to fight through all this.
And the Jagers said earlier in the week, I mean, you know, they've had a trademark on defense this year that they have so many players that go both ways that if they're actually going to take a rest, they actually take it on offense.
3rd down and 5. And that ball's intercepted. The interception stops this one and gives Rochester the ball in great field position.
And this is a great play. I mean, he just comes underneath, sees the ball, needed to lead it just a little bit more downfield, but I mean, he's rolling out, he's feeling some pressure, he's in the end zone, just gets rid of it a little too quick, but the kid goes up and gets it. CJ Baker makes a tremendous play. You know, goes up, catches the ball at the highest point exactly the way it's taught in drills in practice, and comes up with a big turnover.
C.J. Baker, Garrett Dooley interceptions here to stop 2 of the 3 drives for Allman here this half. And the reception that time was Gabe Ferguson. He scored the first touchdown of the night, and that was minute 21 into the game when he took a short pass, turned it into a 34-yard touchdown on a 7-0 Rochester lead. Allman struck back. The 48-yard run from Weatherall, but that's as close as they would get as the extra point was missed, 7-6.
And that's what our West Coast offense is called the now pass. I mean, it's basically a bona fide run by throwing the ball. I mean, your receiver just turns, he gets the ball right now, and what you're hoping to do is create that mismatch with your wide receiver, you know, and hoping that he has the ability to beat the one-on-one matchup in space.
That play took a little bit too long to get communicated in, and play clock had gone down to a second, so Derek Leonard will take a timeout with 7:57 to play. We are wrapping up day number 1 where we have crowned 3 state champions. We're 7:57 away from crowning another. We've had a couple of ball games here, Boomer and I, your games here tonight. As far as Unity and Aurora Christian, we expected a high-scoring game. That game did not become high-scoring until late in the 4th quarter. And here in this one in Class 4A, it was somewhat the reverse. First half was when all the points were on the board.
Yeah, it's been an impressive kind of turn of events. I mean, like, both games kind of didn't go the way that either one of us predicted they would, or even any of the riders or what on. But both teams have done a great job. I mean, clearly Rochester has the ball here, and this is a kind of a nail in the coffin drive for them.
I asked you this. I think we got started this afternoon in terms of when you played for Canton High School prior to your ISU career and your NFL career. You made it to the quarterfinals 2 straight years. What would it have meant to you to be down on this field here for your junior or senior years?
Oh, I mean, it would have meant the world. I mean, I've said it over and over again. I mean, this is the largest stage that you can play on in high school football. I mean, this is a moment. I mean, this is a pinnacle moment in any high school kid's career. They're never going to forget this opportunity, whether you win or lose the game. I mean, you're playing in the state championship game at Memorial Stadium. The majority of these guys, this will be the last snaps they take as a football player. And so to have the ability to play your last game, at the University of Illinois is just not something they'll never forget.
Austin Green nearly squirts away for what would have been his 3rd touchdown of the night. It will be 3rd and a couple. Again, the look back to the sidelines. When you get to the line in a hurry, you can use a lot of that play clock. That's what Derek Leonard is doing right now. We have 8 seconds, now 7.
I don't believe they know how to huddle, so this is their way of kind of working the clock a little bit.
And it works to a score for Garrett Dooley. Dooley's 2nd touchdown run of the night. His 32nd of the season in Rochester, as they have in each of their previous 4 playoff games, have gone over 40 points.
I mean, there's nobody there. I mean, the guard tackle pull, and there's not even really anybody for the tackle to block. Dooley just follows him right around into the end zone.
The biggest games, your stars play big. Green and Garrett Dooley. Showing a 2-point conversion attempt here. A little bit of confusion. Now here we go. Green. Perfectly thrown ball. He gets it to the end zone and a 2-point conversion. On the receiving end of this one, David Gunter. But it's Garrett Dooley, his 2nd touchdown of the night with 7:17 to play. Headed for the University of Wisconsin, headed to the end zone, a 43-18 lead.
How come insurance companies tell me I can save like 40%?
Before they even know what I need.
How come my company never asked me
my idea of financial security?
How
come nobody gives me a financial plan?
I can understand.
Country Financial does. Your country representative can help protect what you have now and prepare for the future.
Somebody who knows retirement planning
and insurance.
Yeah.
At Country, we always ask, what's your idea of financial security?
Protective football. Watch every game at Buffalo Wild Wings and enjoy a multitude of big screen TVs and our signature wings. Go to protectthefootball.com for your nearest location in Chicagoland. Buffalo Wild Wings, proud sponsor of the IHSA. High school football all comes down to this. Watch CSN this weekend for the IHSA football championship games for all 8 classes. 16 seasons are on the line. See who emerges victorious. Watch CSN today and tomorrow. Visit csnchicago.com for listings.
The IHSA State Football Finals are proudly presented by Country Financial. And welcome back to Memorial Stadium here in Champaign at the University of Illinois as we finish up day number 1 of our state championships. Matt Rodewald with you. We have a full day for you tomorrow. Let's take a look at this slate from Class 5A to Class 8A and some good ones for you. We start bright and early. Montini, we'll see if they put 70 on the board once again. They go against Morris, a team playing in its 10th state championship game. And then the battle of the unbeaten starting at 1 o'clock. Cary Grove, the misdirection against Crete Speed. And you also have Glenbard West and Lincoln Way East, what is expected to be a great defensive battle. And then Mount Carmel to top it off against Glenbard North, guys.
It'll be a great one. Lee Hall and Jack McInerney will get things started for you, along with Matt Rodewald. Sophia Minard at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Hoogerwerf will look to get to the outside, but he'll be tumbled down before he can have the chance to turn that corner. It took us a minute 21 seconds to score our first points of the game en route to a 53-point first half, but it took 16 minutes and 43 seconds to get our first points of the second half. 43-18 is the Rochester lead. Pioneers, we showed you the numbers earlier, dominating time of possession. That's what they wanted to do, but they knew that that alone was not going to be enough. Hoogerwerf, nothing coming easily as the Rochester defense continues. And the big plays, Boomer, that we saw from Alleman in the first half, not really materialized here in the second.
Well, Rochester has done a great job of figuring out how to defend the double wing T. I mean, you're seeing a lot of the outside linebackers, and he's kind of went to this 3-3 stack system where the outside linebackers are coming in and they're blitzing in between the end and the nose guard. And what that's doing is eating up all of the linemen. And then Garrett Dooley is just standing in the center of the field and has the ability to roam sideline to sideline. I mean, another tackle he just had there at the line of scrimmage, and now he's in on this one.
Everybody going down. Sean Weatherall was the ball carrier. Leeper said, I got the ball. Well, that's not going to cut it. Not enough. That ball was down.
I believe they're going to say that they blew the whistle because his forward progress had been stopped and the ball came out at the end of the play.
Turnovers have been a factor in the second half, at least from denying Alleman any true scoring opportunities. A couple of interceptions. The last one led to the touchdown run by Dooley. That will be enough for the first down.
Talked to defensive coordinator Bucher earlier in the week for Rochester, and he took notice, and I watched actually as he even spoke to his team that, you know, the team that defended Rock Island Allman the best this year was Rock Island. And so I think that's the game film that they really watched. And although they've maintained their identity and their standard defense, he's done some little things that I believe he's, you know, copycat league. That is all the way from high school football, college, the National Football League, that he's taken some of those things and utilized it to his advantage.
That game against Rock Island, the only loss of the season for Alleman. Tracy will sling it. Jump ball will be tipped out of bounds. That was a 10-7 loss to the Rocks on a field goal late in the ball game. That was a costly game for Alleman. It was a game in which Tom Noe went out with the knee injury. Stephen Tomer, also starting running back, broke his leg on that game-winning field goal.
A dangerous throw. I mean, they're in a position where they're trying to come from behind. They don't have the ability to throw the ball downfield the way that Rochester does. But, you know, I mean, we've said it over and over again. I mean, they're not designed for quick scores of that sort.
Weatherall, a little bit of an opening. It was Dooley that got enough of a piece of him to slow him down. That was the same play that Weatherall busted for 48 yards and a score on the first possession of the game for Rock Island. For Alleman, I better not say Rock Island. They're such bitter rivals. I'm not going to cross that up.
I mean, both of these teams, the only losses that they had this year were kind of essentially against their crosstown or our area rival. I mean, you know, Rock Island Allman lost to Rock Island. Rochester lost to Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin. And, you know, I mean, it's a testament to both of these teams that they play all year long. They play teams of a lot larger schools and conferences with a lot more size. So when they come into the playoffs, you know, they're actually probably a little bit more prepared to play against, you know, playoff teams because they played against such good talent all throughout the season.
Well, that's why both of them have rolled to get here. For Alleman defeating Manteno 49-26. Stillman Valley, always a state power, 42-7. It was a 28-13 win over Coal City and a 23-7 win over Evergreen Park. And as we said, for Rochester, they have rolled over Mahomet Seymour, Charleston, Peoria, and Notre Dame, and Harrisburg each time, scoring 42 points or more. They have 43 on the board here tonight. It's a 4th down and 3. Tracy looking for Hugerwerf, broken up, and again for the 3rd time tonight. Here in the second half, Rochester stops an Alleman possession.
And Alleman does a great job here of defending. I mean, Rochester blitzed everybody, but I mean, Hoover's completely covered up. There's nowhere for him to go. It's great coverage on the play. Turnover on downs.
So John Tracy will stay on the field. He'll play defense as he has tonight.
Well, Tracy's father, I mean, he comes from a lineage of football as well. I mean, I've heard established Rock Island Alleman football, and then, you know, the Jagers came in here and done a tremendous job of building the program and continuing the success. And you know, I mean, this was a year, you know, they recognize the talent that they've had, and this is one of the better teams that they felt they've had. But to go up against an opponent as strong as Rochester is, and with all of the different weapons they have, and especially, you know, their style of play. I mean, you're facing a team that you have played no one throughout the entire season that can emulate that type of offense.
Well, and you're right, because it was a case where anybody that looked at this 32-team bracket in 4A, they knew the class of this class was the Rochester Rockets. It has played out that way. And now Rochester will really work this play clock all the way down. This is their, as you said, their version of the huddle. Green to Dooley on the handoff. Will be short of a 1st down. We talk about Austin Green and what he's done tonight. Well, he is our KFC player of the game. Austin Green has managed this game with his arm. 172 yards and 2 touchdowns. Green has done it with his legs. 133 yards and a couple of scores on the ground. Green, slick little run, headed to Eastern Illinois University. He's about ready to pick up his 3rd state championship trophy. Our KFC player of the game, Austin Green.
I mean, what a game. I mean, over 100 yards, passing and rushing, 4 touchdowns. I mean, the kid is just, he's thrown the ball when he's needed to. He's ran the ball, he's created plays. He's made, you know, he's just been such an impact.
And with that 1st down and 2:12 left, the Rochester fans just about ready to break loose. They love their football in Rochester, a high school program that is only 16 years old. Derek Leonard needs to get some new players onto the field, and he's very emphatic about it. And you can hear the Rochester fans, three-peat. And a penalty flag for a delay of game. That's not a problem right now. 1:54 left.
Delay game. Rochester.
Derek Leonard just done a absolutely incredible job with this program. I mean, you know, the crowd and the fans and everyone going to this game was chanting three-peat. And what, you know, kind of falls off the radar is that in 2009 they actually placed 3rd at state.
You're right.
You know, I mean, so in his 8-year career, being 70-23 and starting in 05 with actually a losing season of 3-6, and just the way that he has turned this program around.
Just stepping out of bounds. Denied a touchdown for Drake Berberet. He may get another chance. Berberet comes into the ball game at the running back spot. Junior, when he's gotten his opportunity, he's rushed for 467 yards. And that little right foot step was the only thing that denied him from reaching the end zone.
Tried to walk the tightrope there at the end and just couldn't quite get it in.
And after that first down run, it will be take a knee. Let's watch the scoreboard clock go to 0 and get ready to hoist your 3rd consecutive state championship. On the other side, for Alleman, disappointing finish. It always is when you don't win it all. However, it's the 5th time that Alleman has come to the state championship game. They have finished 2nd each time.
I mean, that's still something extremely to be proud of. It's a testament to their program. I mean, to be in the state finals game 5 times, you know, and even though you walk away, you still walk away with the trophy. I mean, they got 5 rather large trophies that the majority of schools in IHSA do not have any of, that I'm sure are stacked all nice and neat in a very pretty row together.
And in fact, the Alleman fans giving their teams a hand. Derek Leonard, boy, that's a big old bear hug on the 8th-year head coach. They'll need to snap the ball one more time. It was 35-18 at the half. Only 1 touchdown here in the second half. And Rochester, for the 3rd time in a row, will come across the field knowing they have won a state championship. Back to back to back in Class 4A. Alleman, they knew they were going to be up against it here this evening. They took it right to Rochester early on. In fact, had this ball game within 7-6, within 14-12. The only difference, a couple of missed extra point opportunities, but then the Jets got turned down. A couple of touchdown runs by Austin Green stretched to a 28-12 lead. Tracy Answer with the 1-yard touchdown run with 1:30 to play. 28-18 with 1.5 minutes. You wondered, okay, Rochester definitely would have the time. Would they do it? They did. It was that 16-yard touchdown pass from Green to Pasley that made it 35-18. And as it turns out, that's what it was that made Rochester the 4A state champs.
Well, I mean, that really changes the dynamic of the play calling. I mean, they did as good of a job as you could of maintaining your identity and sticking to what you are good at. But we've said it over and over today with the 3A and 4A games. I mean, when you have that double wing T and you have that ground and pound offense, it's just not designed for fast scores.
Matt Rodewell is with Derek Leonard.
Derek Leonard, another state championship, 3 in a row now. Does it get old?
No, it doesn't, man. What an awesome feeling. Man, I don't know what to say. Thank the Lord for putting us in this spot. We're just blessed, this team. And to bless us like this is awesome. What can you say?
A lot of work done in the first half and very consistent in the second half to make sure the job got done.
Yeah, we knew, hey, our defense was going to come on and play. We knew play well. They were 3 possessions down, so, man, we wanted to show we were a tough team too. We're a spread team, but we're a tough team, and we proved that tonight.
You also showed that you continue to churn out good quarterbacks. Talk about Austin Green's performance tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's a winner. What a freaking player. I mean, he can run, he can throw, he can do it all. Tough kid, he ran his butt off because they're a physical football team, and what can you say?
You've won 3 state championships. Your father's had so much success. What does it mean to you to have carved out such a legacy over the years by the name of Derek Leonard?
Yeah, you know, it's awesome, but, you know, the person who taught me everything is my father, and so whatever I win, it's through him in some way, and so we're blessed as a family. He's won a lot, we've won a lot, and just blessed, and couldn't say more.
There are only 4 coaches that have won 4 in a row. That could happen tomorrow for number 5. You could be number 6.
That'd be awesome. Why not, right?
All right, congratulations.
I want to say hi to my grandma, anyone watching. Love you guys. Juno Sue, thank you guys. I'm like a little kid. Thanks.
Derek Leonard, the head coach of the Rochester Rockets, state champs once again.
All right, here with Austin Green. Austin, getting it done in the air, on the ground. An amazing game for you tonight. How does it feel to end your high school career with a game like this?
It feels amazing, you know. I always want to come out and do my best for my team, and to do it on this stage and in front of all these people, our whole town, and to do the state championship for my team, for my coaching staff, I just love it.
You guys seemed like you got in an offensive rhythm really early tonight. What was working for you?
We just knew we had to get in a rhythm because this team keep the ball from you, and we knew we needed to put points on the board if we wanted to stay in it. And what we did was working, so we just kept with it, and it worked out well.
Congratulations. Go celebrate with your team. All right, Dave, back up to you.
Indeed, Susanna, as the teams do celebrate after they hear from their coaches. When we come back, we'll have the trophy presentations. 43-18, Rochester over Alleman, your 4A champions.
Every day, every season, all over our state, young people participating in IHSA sports are learning an important lesson, that everyone can be a champion by discovering the value of being on a team, working hard toward a goal, and doing their best. Country Financial salutes them all and is proud to be part of IHSA life.
To home.
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 Cheeseburger.
How do we move through Europe without attracting attention?
Wait, the circus.
Just lay low.
Right, Marty?
The circus, Afro. Polka dot, Afro.
Really?
They've got one shot to get back home.
Well, that was worth the price of admission.
DreamWorks Madagascar 3.
Zebras can't drive. Only penguins and people can drive.
Oh, yay!
Get in front of your best deal at Riverfront Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in the North Aurora Auto Mall.
The whistle is blown and the Big Finish 2012 sales event is underway. At Riverfront, we're tackling the competition with over 300 models available for immediate sale. Fans can score big savings with factory rebates from $500 to $9,000 or low 0% APR financing.
We're doing it right, and we're doing it for you.
At Riverfront Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram or buy@riverfront.com.
When life's this hard, it's no wonder 7,000 students drop out every school day. Visit boostup.org and help kids in your community stay in school.
A special medallion will be presented.
Sometimes it's tough to walk up the steps and stand in that south end zone area to see your team get a second place trophy. It's the 5th time that has happened with Rock Island Alleman, your 2012 4A state runners up. They dropped this one to Rochester 43-18. Back with you here at Memorial Stadium. Susanna Collins and Matt Rodewald on the field. Dave Bernhardt here along with Boomer Grigsby, as again the faces tell it all, Boomer, as to how you feel right here at this moment.
Well, right at this moment, I mean, it's no surprise that it's very bittersweet to be having a medal put around your neck. But, you know, ultimately, as we said earlier, I mean, these kids are going to go home tonight and they'll start to realize, and I'm sure the Jaeger will talk to them in the locker room, and they really do have something to be proud of. I mean, having 5 of those trophies right there, I mean, it is really a testament to the program, and just to be a part of it and to play on this stage the way they have. I mean, the school has enough wood in their trophies they could lay down a hardwood floor. I mean, whether it's second place or first, they got 5 of them.
You know, sometimes you see the faces, and it's more predominant, of course, of the losing teams. The sad faces, some tears in many cases, but oftentimes that's also a result of knowing that this is the last time that you will ever put those uniforms on with your teammates. You'll have your reunions, sure you will, but it's the last time you'll play a high school football game with these same guys, and that hurts too.
Well, I mean, that's one of the wonderful things about football. I mean, football in general is, I mean, it's a lot more than just the play on the field. I mean, it's the camaraderie and the friendships and the experiences and the journey that you go through. So, I mean, those are things that these kids are never going to forget, and the fact that they played this long into the season is still something to be very proud of.
It is so tough to win a single state championship. We saw Aurora Christian win their 2nd in a row earlier on this evening, but to go 3 straight years with 3 different types of teams and to win it all. As you see Derek Leonard 2 years ago, he said the team that won that 2010 title was the dream team of a lifetime. Everything came together. And then last year, Wes Lunt led the victory over Richmond Burton. And this year, quarterback was Austin Green. Each team in any sport, especially in high school, has its own personality, and that's the case here with Rochester here this year.
And, you know, he spoke to us of how they've kind of evolved, and they've actually ran the ball very well this year, and you know, and they're very humble. You know, he knows that after 4 years of having 4 Division I quarterbacks, I mean, you could say that, you know, that a lot of it goes to the talent that they've had in the program, but Derek Leonard has done such a great job of understanding his talent and then kind of molding his offense around it instead of just being completely one-sided and staying with the same system. I mean, he does the best he can to give his skill players the ball and let them win big games for you.
So the Rochester fans will get to celebrate yet another state championship. And for Derek Leonard, he talks about how there is pressure in Rochester, small town just outside of Springfield. They expect him to win a state championship. He knows how tough it is, but he can celebrate here for a few days.
Well, I mean, there's absolutely expectations. I mean, when you've turned a program around for his first year of having a losing season and then being so successful over the course of the last 4 years, I mean, three-peat for 3 state championships, but then coming in third, you know, in 09, I mean, it's unbelievable what he has done to this program, and it's very easy for people to adjust to winning, and so they do hold those expectations.
Well, you get great programs, great teams down here in Champaign. Congratulations to Maroa. Forsyth and Mercer County, they won 1A and 2A. In 3A, we saw Aurora Christian go back-to-back here, and a dominating team, a team that a lot of folks thought could compete not just at 3A, but 4 and 5A, and the same could be said of Rochester.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Aurora Christian did what it takes to win the football game today. I mean, Talona Unity had a great performance. The game was going the way that they needed the game to go until very late in the game. I mean, the score by no means shows how competitive the game was all throughout, but, you know, they just had so many weapons on offense that, I mean, I have not a doubt in my mind that they could not have competed at the 4A and maybe even 5A level. I mean, you know, having another unique offense that can run the ball, that can throw the ball, and then having 3, you know, Division I athletes that are basically playing both sides of the ball for you. You know, I mean, it's just a tremendous benefit to any coach.
But class, higher, lower, it doesn't matter. A first-place trophy goes to Rochester here.